Show her your face, fill up the space. Barbados needs you right now. Barbados needs you right now. She can't escape being afraid. Fill her with you right now. Barbados needs you right now. Show her your face, fill up the space. Barbados needs you right now. Barbados needs you right now. She can't escape being afraid. Fill her with you right now. Barbados needs you right now. How I fall down, bring with it a sound that points her to you right now. Erase substitutes right now. Fix what we see, and God please fix Barbados. Barbados needs you right now. Let us see you right now. Barbados needs you right now. Barbados needs you right now. Every heart in the world, God needs you to rescue. Storms have come and torn our hearts in two. Barbados needs you. Show her your face, fill up the space. Barbados needs you right now. Barbados needs you right now. Storms may come, but when she calls your name, all things change. Kingdoms fall, one thing forever reigns is your name. The anchor that holds her in pain stays the same. Oh, how sweet to know that your great name will never change. The anchor that holds her in pain stays the same. Oh, how sweet
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, boys and girls, and welcome to the Marcia Week Show. I'm holding in my hand the national flag of Barbados, and you just heard the national anthem of Barbados, and that's where we're coming to you live from. I mean, we deal with all kinds of topics on the Marcia Week Show where we educate, we motivate, we mobilize, we agitate. It's all about Emma on the Marcia Week Show, and we are excited to be with you this evening after having an exciting weekend. We had our protest march, people. The protest march, and it was just electrifying on the road. Everybody was just saying just what they felt on the road. The people on the side of the road were dancing. They were giving us some fist bumps and thumbs up and getting involved, and it was an amazing time. All of you who came out, I want to say to you, congratulations. Congratulations, because we live in a country where people are just afraid to express their opinions, to speak out. This is what happens under the Martinez government. But we are grateful, and we want to congratulate those of you who came out and who used your voice. And we made noise, didn't we? Yes, we did. I just want to say, give yourself a round of applause. I'm seeing on social media, we're going to look at it a little later. It's a big firestorm on social media. Thousands of people are watching the videos on social media. People even took pictures of the placards. And they're making a big discussion of these placards on social media. We're going to bring a couple of them on the program later in the evening. But it's just been one amazing weekend. And would you believe, while we were doing that, while the loyal opposition was on the road and we were doing the agitation, there was education happening as well right there at Praise Academy. And I want to thank Sunny. Sonny, I'm singling you out tonight. You did not make the march because you were there teaching children to read and to do math. And that's all coming from this show, The Loyal Opposition. And there was someone who told me that they can help to teach as well. And if that's you, I'm searching for your information in my phone and I just can't find it. So I'm going to ask you, please, to reach out to me. The student is ready. So that means it's going to be good, because they said education happens when the student is ready. And we have a student that is ready. She needs some help with her reading and comprehension, and she's waiting. So if you are listening to this and that's you, just message me, because we're all about being a solution. We're not just marching on the road, but you know what? We have been doing that since last term. Want to thank all those who helped with the elevated for learning. Thank you. That helped last term with Rose Corbin and the others who I can't mention their names, but thank you. We had, some of the students even did English and got it back at CHC. And I want to thank this group of people for your support, your encouragement. And if you are listening and you believe that you want to help to teach a child how to read, and they might even know how to read already, but not comprehend. Because reading and comprehension, they go hand in hand. You can read something, but the question is, do you understand what you're reading? And so we are going to be able to help students to read. We're not preparing them for common entrance, and we're not preparing them for CHC. We are preparing them for just to be able to read and understand. That's what we're doing. And that's on Saturday mornings from 8:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock. Okay? So that's 8:30 till 10 o'clock at Praise Academy, Havens Lane. You're interested in learning to read. You have children who are slow readers and you want to help them, or even if they're teenagers and you want to help them, we're going to pair them with teachers. So we don't have, with one person to 15 kids, nothing like that. We want at least one person to two teacher. I mean, one teacher to two students, right? Around the same age group, learning to read. Is that you? Do you have a grandchild, or do you know somebody in the community that you want to, introduce them to the program? 236 7000. 236 7000. And that's what we do here on the Marcia Week Show. It's not just the agitation. It is not. We're not a bunch of people who just come together to criticize the government. No, we are providing answers. We are providing solutions. That's what we're about. And in that breath, I want to thank every single one of you who donated for the march. I came on and I told you the situation that we now have this big truck. And I have a smaller group of you on WhatsApp, and I asked the question before I booked the truck, what your thoughts were about that. And 99% of you said, get the big truck. I told you the cost of it. I came on here and I tell you guys, we collected enough on that day. Would you believe that I thought that we were not going? I said, when I saw how it was going, I called somebody that I trusted. I said, listen, just can you pay this up for us? And I guarantee you, by the time, by today or so, I'll be able to get those funds to you. And I spoke to her, I think probably about 20 minutes after I spoke to her, somebody passed by to go into the march, shook my hand and put an envelope in my hand. And I just put it right in, put it away. I wouldn't say where I put it. And then, but I felt in myself, open the envelope. I ran back to them and I said, you don't need to do it. I know everything is going to come in now because we had, quite a bit of it. So I just want to thank every one of you. And sometimes when I sit down and I think about this whole thing and my involvement and your involvement and the panel, it brings tears to my eyes, because do you know that we could have gone out there and we're embarrassed. We can't pay the truck driver. But I thank you so much. And I want to say that those who, the people who are on the side of the road, they so appreciated the music. I went ahead of the truck. When we were at the parliament, I walked way past the truck and to see how far the sound carries. That sound was going all the way. I know people in that van stand would have been able to hear what Dawn Marie or the Reverend was saying. The sound was powerful, especially the front of the truck. The sound was powerful, the front and the sides. And that's what we need, and you paid for it. And the reason you paid for it is not so much that for us to have a big truck. It is so that the message could carry very, very far. I remember somebody came from Starcom. They were outside Starcom, and they heard the truck. They heard everything clear as crystal and came and joined. You see what I'm saying? So I'm thankful to everybody on behalf of the loyal opposition. I want to say thank you, because I know, just like the priest there, that we're going to say, the priest who says, I know things are hard in Barbados. I know they tell us things are going good, but I know things are hard. The priest is agreeing with us on the show. And yesterday they said we come on here, we tell lies. But the priest is agreeing with us. We're going to discuss that later on in the show. But before I greeted you individually who come on, I wanted to just say this, that we are such an amazing team. The eyes of Barbadians are being opened up. I tell you, I see the people on the street. I see you in front of Cave Shepherd nodding your head. Some of you inside the store come out and give us thumbs up. I see you. I know you are connecting. And it is just amazing to see that. And however you vote, The point is that we are giving you enough information that you can make an educated decision, not based on your feelings or what you think, but based on facts. We sit here and we do our very best to research and to bring to you. You do the same. I also left there with a whole set of documents. Someone came and put in my hand and said, Marcia, go and read that. And so it is something, this is something what we do together, isn't it? We do this together. Want to thank everybody who spoke on the truck. And I'm hearing that the snippets of Zico is going viral online. Thousands of views. This morning we checked, it was I think over 7,000 views of and also of Janine Butcher, and hers was over 5,000 views. Just the pictures and everything and the discussion online. It's way more than what you see there. You see what I'm saying? So your money, your donation is going very far. And I want to commend every one of you. I know I have not start mentioning your names. I'm not going to not do that. I want to single out Judy Jilts. Judy, are you on tonight? I haven't checked yet. But I want to thank you and Teroni, for your faithfulness. And I saw Teroni was there helping to manage the road as well. Teroni, thank you. And every one of you, I single out you guys because of just your encouragement. If the show, if I'm late in putting out the show, you're going to reach out, are we having the show tonight? And so I want to let you know that we see you as part of our team. We're a team. The topics that we bring on the show is what you bring to me. A lot of times I don't even know all of what's happening. Those of you in the diaspora who message me, thank you. To that person who does all of our narrations, and thank you. The songs, what do you all think about them songs? Oh my goodness, thank you. The songs of this revolution. The songs of this revolution of the mind, the songs of this fight for our democracy. Those songs are ringing all over the place. The people were dancing to the beautiful melodies. And those melodies gave us the energy on the road as well. And guess what? I saw the truck driver. He came out the truck twice and he was smiling. I feel he's now, I believe he's connecting with what we're doing. And I just want to thank him publicly as well. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Guys, let me now go and thank you and say good night. Paige and Boy, good night. Lucinda Allen, good night. I change up things on you all a little tonight. Judy Jilts, you're on tonight. Thank you, Judy. I hope you feel better. I know it was tough out there yesterday, but it works. Who is that girl there? That's CG. Isn't that CG? That is CG there. That is CG with the flag. We were told that you can't do the flag like a flag girl, but that is CG. I don't know. I did tell her what I was told. I don't know if that's wrong. And if it's wrong, please let me know and please pardon us. But she was just celebrating out there and celebrating Barbados out there. Okay. Keith Brathwaite. Hi, Jelaine. Patricia Green. No, but Patricia. Bim Lady, Born Again. Galvez, how are you doing? Galvez, you were there from early, from way before a lot of these people. And I know that you've not been feeling very well. And I'm hoping for the day when you can be back out with us another time. Hi, Machio. Hi, Mystic Angel. Hi, Nevis Lashley. Hi, Neon Star. And Andrea Critchlow and Lori Bob. How is Lori Bob? ADG, Jacqueline, Aline. Hey, Jackie, you were out there. Marcia, good day. Oh, good evening. I'm going to say a good day. Monica, CG, that's who we just saw. Let me tell you, CG, guess what? Your placards, we're going to show you a couple of them. Listen, some of them, that you have a placard there that's going viral. CG, you have a placard that's going viral. And this woman, she's one of the most creative persons that I know. I don't know where CG comes up with these things. But they're going to turn around and curse me. But it's not my ideas. This is what I tell you. If this thing is bigger than the woman is sitting in this chair, bigger than my husband, bigger than MAXINE McCLEAN, Caswell Franklin. A lot of people thought when Caswell got sick and got busy and couldn't come back on as usual, and then, now he's very busy with his work. People said, how is his show going to go on? And I thank God Mr. Franklin said to me, Marcia, start the 9 o'clock calling and let the people call in so you don't have to depend on a lot of panelists. And I'm so glad Mr. Franklin made that suggestion. And look at where it's still going, because it's not about a personality. Isn't that wonderful? That is wonderful. I travel and the show is going on. Sherry Ennis. So CG, thank you for what you do. I know you need more material, right? CG needs some plywood. Okay, I'm just letting everybody know, and I was going to buy the plywood for her, but I'm sure you know that if we have money left back and somebody needs, some benevolence, let me put it like that. I don't like to say everything. Then we've got to try to help that person, right? Because it's better. We don't want to spend money on placards and then people are struggling. Children not eating. That's how difficult it is. So I had to tell CG, hold on those new placards and let us take care of the people. It will always be that for us in the loyal opposition. We're going to take care of the people. We're not going to focus on placards and all these things. That's why when you give your donation for the truck, I really want you to know that means a lot. You're giving to Barbados because you're giving out of a lot of you from your pension, which sometimes is so hard. This lady came and I said, you sure? I held her hand. I said, ma'am, you sure? She said, you take that money from my hand and brought that for the truck. And I know she doesn't work for a lot, and it's, but I believe that the message is going on. You're investing in democracy in this country, Carol. Did I call Cammie's name? Hi, Cammie and Sharon. Yes, we're a team. Marlene, Beverly, Prescott. We're part of this team, Mildred. We're a team. We're people taking back our democracy. Judith, how you doing, Judith? Oh my goodness, Judith was always so faithful there. But she brings the encouragement. She's waiting on doing she has to do some work. I don't know. You didn't give me, write me and let me know what I can say, Judith. Okay. But I thank you, Judith, for your contribution to the Marcia Week show, to the loyal opposition. Yes. Cali B, we made it. So Cali B is one of those in the diaspora who made sure that we had enough money. Oops, I should have said that. Oh, Lord, I'm talking about everybody's business tonight. Oh, Lord. Sorry, Cali. Oops. I was so excited. I should not, I won't surely not want to call anybody else's name. Ryan Rock, thank you. But Diaspora, thank you. Diaspora, thank you. And I'm one of those who believe strongly that they need to make provisions for you to vote. And I'm going to lobby on, I promise you. I started doing my research. I sat down this evening after somebody in the diaspora reached out to me, and I'm putting something together for my diaspora people, because I lived, Dave and I, we were in the diaspora for over 10 years in New York. And listen, we believe there should be provision made for you to be able to vote from where you are. I know right now you can fly in, but that's a whole plane ticket. And if we can get in, as the person said to me today, if they can set us up in the metaverse, And and our prime minister was there in the U.S. I think she in at Congress or in the Senate there with Congress, and she's trying to convince them that Barbados is ready to go digital. Even they knew that she was talking nonsense. You should see the guy was like, "Hey, really, right?" And use with all of that technology that you claim that we have, and we can't set up something for or the people in the diaspora. We can't put the technology in place for them. Michael Jilks, Alwyn Bob. Mr. Bob was up there as well. Mr. Bob, thank you for your contribution. We're a team. We're a team. Mr. Bob, I just love to hear you speak because you cut to the chase. Not a lot of long talk, but you're really able to analyze things very, very quickly and to put it out there. Pauline, and welcome, Pauline. Great to have you. Great to have you. Dalton, Spencer, Marcia. This movement for our nation is blessed by God. I am telling you, it is. It is. Oh, yes, the stop at the parliament was a moment of the march. Yes, it was. We played the national anthem at the parliament, gentle people, and some powerful speeches were made there and declarations by Apostle Scantlebury and by Dawn Marie Armstrong. That woman is something else. That young woman is powerful. She's a prophet. I call her a Deborah. Dawn Marie Armstrong. Oh goodness. We're going to show you some of that tonight, a little bit of that. Mavis Lashley. Mr. Bob, you were reading my mind, Owen Hines, good night. Mr. Bob was reading my mind because I called John, who does the editing. And can I just thank God for John? I know people say, Marcia, get on with the show, but it's 7:28 and I still thanking people. Because listen, folks, without you, without your help, this doesn't happen. So we want to say thank you to everybody in the diaspora. I'm putting up the names and to go quickly. I'm going quickly. Dave, if you could come to the front. I went out with my laptop, and I'm being honest and open right now. My laptop, the battery is low because I have not plugged in. Something is going on here with the laptop. Dave, if you could come and help me. It's live TV. Hi, Justin. Hi, Sandra Watkins. Listen, Adrian Hines. No, she's not Dee Dee. Yeah. Yes. Somebody said, Sandra says, burying the flag is bad. Right. But we have to plug in my computer, the charger. We have to get the charger in. Yes. Yes, Beverly says, I was not there on Saturday, but seeing the excitement in you, Marcia, I know you are reaching the people. Keep up the good work. People are awakening. And, I want to thank God for those who are online. We've got some online warriors. So there's some loyal opposition people that are just, doing an amazing job, right? So, doing an amazing job. Let's try the I'm sorry, guys, the small bag behind you there. Yeah. They are doing an amazing job, and what they're doing is they are spilling out the facts out there. I see you. I know who you are, and I see you. You're right. She can bury it in the ground, but we can't wave it. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. Everybody, Matthew B, we missed you, but we thank you for what you did in putting out the what you did in doing the announcement. Thank you, Dave, in doing the announcement, and thanks to also to Stephanie Williams. She wasn't well, so she wasn't able to get on the truck to sing God's Messenger. Okay, Dalton said that. Yes, Dalton. Dalton, I saw you in the newspaper, Dalton. Yes, yes. You know, Sharon Innes is saying that she was against the diaspora voting, but she's rethinking her position, especially now. Yes, because you see, they're getting ready to steal the election. They're getting ready to steal the election. Let's say it what it is. We don't have any time anymore to be mincing words with this wicked government. We don't have any time to mince any word with this wicked leader and a wicked government ready to steal the election. Yeah. Hi, Celia. So, CG is telling us what we need. The plywood is actually the thinnest plywood because I went to look at it. That she needs sheets of that. So that, I mean, what you can do, we want to get it cut up at Carter's. So, Carter's, they already told me that they will cut it up. But as I said, we've got to take care of people, when we have anything extra. Okay. I, Colleen, Hurricane. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Carmela Charles, good night. Good night. Yes, yes. Well, folks, guess what? I have something that I want to share with you. We did Mike on the Move, and we're going to start the show off with that. So there is a community in Church Village. I went to drop somebody off um, at their home, and as we drove up, I saw this community. I saw these people sitting outside, and I was saying to myself, "Oh my goodness, they've started a block near where this young lady lives, and already I think of safety. I think of all those things. I'm going to be real and tell you what it is. I know they're probably watching in Church Village. Listen, Janine, if you're watching this and those guys are outside there on the block, and I'm putting it in quotation because I'll explain to you later. Can you go and tell them that I'm going to show it now? If Janine or Janine's family or Dave can somebody contact them, Janine, go and tell the guys because I went there yesterday and they said, "Mom, you didn't show it. We were watching the show and you didn't show it." But this is I'm going to show you this, guys, and I wanted to watch this tonight and watch how Barbados is going to be restored and brought back to where it is supposed to be. All right, share up the live. You don't want to miss this one. This Church Village block creates a community garden. You don't. This one. You don't want to miss this. So take the moment now and like and share, please. Like and share. And then later in the program, we're going to talk. We're going to talk about this. That's what the battle is for this. Yeah, the battle is for this. Let me just do this a little day before we put that up. While the people like and share, you see this? That's what this is over. I have been sent so many videos where non-nationals they're in other countries selling this. When I say selling this, they're telling people how they can become citizens. And they're using like a service. I'm serious. We showed you the other night to become permanent residents and all of that. Residents. Well, it's now this. The passport is a battle of the Barbadian passport. The strongest passport in the Caribbean. Our leader that cares so much for us, giving this away. 6 months, 9 months, you can get this, one of these. 6 months upon entry in this. You could 9 months, you could come from Bangladesh. Nothing is wrong with Bangladesh. I'm just saying it because it seems far. Okay? Huh? You could come from Taiwan. 9 months, you could get one of these. Yeah. Folks, something is wrong. Keep warring on social media. Those of you, my social media warriors, keep warring. Social media warriors, keep warring. Something good. I have not heard the Prime Minister mention one thing about this. We're going to talk about this here tonight. We're going to talk about this. But before we do so, let's head down to Church Village. I hope by now we can get those people on, those gentlemen, wonderful men there. So go right ahead. Well, we're here in Church Village, and you are seeing this beautiful garden. There's a reason I am showing you this beautiful garden. Do you see it? And you're going to meet the wonderful people who are working on this garden. It's a beautiful garden. I pass here, and it's significant. I'm going to give you the close-ups of this garden. Yes. Hello. Yes, I said I was coming back, and I'm here. Yes, 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 yes. So I'm doing a video here. Yes, to show the people your wonderful work that you're doing here. So you see what this is, a lettuce?
Yes, please.
Yes?
Yes, please.
So who is gonna come and tell me what is what?
Farmers.
The farmers there?
I already know farmer. We just decide that non-man has come up and we didn't tell us something.
Yeah, so tell us what's your name, sir?
My name is Curtis.
Hi Curtis, good afternoon. You see me come and I'm looking at your beautiful garden. And you know, I am saying this is so lovely because Curtis, I see a school there and I see a fence.
Yeah, so what happened is, the hardest line between sidewalk and the fence, and they used to have some grass, so we used to sit down laying here, but we had to spray it because it get tall and you burn it off.
Right.
And the guy just sit down one day and look at it and say, you know what, you could put some beds here and thing and just plant a little food.
Right.
And we just get one day and start to fork it up after we burn it off and thing.
Uh-huh.
And that's what it come to know.
Right. So
already my idea.
It's not your idea.
No,
so you everybody.
So about idea. That's come and help as a person that's been here sitting down with the gentleman that who come up with the idea.
Right. So you help.
Yeah.
You help. And so have you guys eaten from it as yet?
There's the first. There's it no.
This is it here. This is the first stage of it. And about how many of you participate in this?
Everybody that's been here.
So wait. So
it's much more us.
So you all sit down. This is where you sit down underneath. So this is where they sit. He's taking a phone call. So somebody's gonna come and give you the full story. But the rain looks like it's gonna fall. So I had to quickly get the story. All right. So this garden is right behind the school, St. Philip Primary School.
You call it here
Dodds Land.
Yes, please.
And so you guys normally sit underneath.
Yeah, relax over here.
You relax out here. So this is people will call this a block.
It's a block.
It's not a block?
No.
All right. This is your leisure time. You just sit down and you play dominoes.
Most of it trade. Maybe they will come and talk about work and certain things. So instead of wasting time, that's how the idea here come about.
It came about.
You know,
Okay. Right. And you start to and thing. I see this gentleman here. I met you when I came here first.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What's your name, please?
My name is Clyde.
Clyde. Good afternoon, Clyde.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. So I'm here looking at your beautiful garden, and this how much? You told me how many months you guys started. Give me the history.
In weeks, it's a matter of weeks.
A month and a week.
This is a little over a month we was here. This is a little over a month.
A little over a month.
Yeah, no. As you can see,
not even a month yet.
most of these things here no blossoming for the first time. So in a little over a month we was doing this here.
Yeah. So so tell me, give me the history from your perspective.
Well, as Curtis said, is the area that just was here all the time. Just we used to have to clean it up and stuff. We used out here to sit down in line and hang out when the night come or the evening or whatever, fellas come up from work. So we just decided to, instead of letting the bush grow all the time, do something constructive. So that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
You
Now,
understand?
what I remember when I was here, you told me that there used to be bougainvillea.
Yeah, I tell the school because they had a program that the park board worked on the school. So it wasn't really a good idea in my book, but
Why not? Why you didn't like
because
the idea?
I first thing first, I don't see the reason why planting bougainvillea around the school. Bougainvillea is something that dangerous.
Oh, okay.
I would have preferred them to plant like fruit trees.
Fruit trees.
I
I see.
Right?
Right.
But as I say, it's their land, so they choose to do what they have to do. But them come and put them down, but they never come back and look after them either. So they ain't come to, they ain't grow, they ain't come to nothing.
Right.
So we always clean up here. So we decide that this is what we can do.
Right. And it's a group of men that you sit here
mostly
and
fellas,
lime.
mostly fellas and soon come out. They probably go home and then they soon come out.
Come out, yeah.
But they will come out and help do so and so. I sit down and just look after the ground and talk a little fun sometimes.
Right.
So it don't mean
Right.
nothing really.
Yeah.
As you can see, people is always say like fellas that come out and lime and thing, badges always come out right.
Right.
But as you can see, they can be good
coming
also.
out of it. So what is your relationship with the school? I mean, how they feel
We can
about
help,
what you're doing
we looking
here?
to help them know and
No,
start
as
something
you
for them.
see, what we doing this
That's
year,
what
you
we
know,
looking to
them
do now.
come to us and say that it's them looking to start something for the school children.
The school
So-
came to you?
Yeah, we can, fellas gonna get together
What on earth? What are you telling
and do
me?
something, whatever them
Inside
plan
the
is to
school.
do on
So
the inside.
they want to do a
gardening
gardening
on the
program with the students,
Yeah.
and they've come to the guys who are here liming.
Yeah.
When the evening comes, so because you come out usually.
Yeah, mostly evening nights.
Yeah, evening to the night, you come and hang out.
Is work, so
Yeah.
they will come after work or whatever, or before work sometimes.
Right, and they come and so instead of just chilling and just playing, let's walk down here so we can see the corn and so on. Instead of just sitting down and chilling, you guys decide that you're going to do something. And look at it now, the school wants the program inside.
Yeah, because you gotta have. If they, as you see, mostly fellas will hear it. If they come and they say they want help, the fellas will help. So it ain't nothing, but just
But we do it still too for the same school to come.
you know, and
We
then
do it for them to come.
and
Because if they
try
bring the
and-
children to and
and learn a little something.
Yeah.
something,
Also,
because them is
Oh,
coming
wow.
look.
Don't
bring them
school
over
land.
the
So
ground.
we
So
do it for them
right,
also.
so I think it's important for our viewers to know that these
go
men
behind.
they started to farm on the school's land because it was a piece
That's
of
bush,
land that was
yeah.
their bush, and you started to clear it because they had the bougainvillea there, and you thought that the bougainvillea was dangerous to the students because it's
It
poisonous. You
wasn't
were
even
saying
growing either.
And it wasn't growing.
It wasn't growing for us.
it wasn't growing, and you decided to put food where they had that
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So tell us about why you decided to
can
plant
see
the corn.
here, because like for the bush, instead of like how we park up there and do the base, we can say well, like, put more fruit and vegetables that gonna grow to stay with the bush in the rough
What we
area.
really planned to do too was put an oven, a rock oven, right?
A rock.
Yeah,
Then
we
we
planned to
roast
put a
the
rock oven
breadfruit
there.
or
Oh.
plan to cook.
So when the guys got leisure time and we feel that we can cook something, you know, do saying, we got the oven.
You will have there, so that's
so
what
we
you're
use the
doing.
roast bread here
You
also.
use some roast
Right
breadfruit.
here.
I see.
You have to let the area like that we start back to roast the bread.
Breadfruit, you can, yes, makes sense.
Decent.
Neat and okay. So tell me about, so this is corn, for those who don't know, this is corn, right?
Yeah, this is corn here.
Mm-hmm.
Over here is a little watermelon growing.
Okay.
Here's watermelon.
Watermelon going there.
This is sweet basil.
Wow.
Two different types of sweet basil you can see here.
Listen, you need to give me a piece of
Got
put in my
rosemary
soup.
coming
Sure,
up
no, you
there.
can get piece of plant.
Another side.
A piece of plant.
Yeah.
This man is something else, you know.
You got piece all the time.
Right.
You
So,
only can do soup one time a year?
no.
Oh, there you go.
You see, so you really got it. You really understand what is going
Yeah,
on.
you get piece of
Yeah,
plant.
but what is your normal profession? What do you do?
You? And the security guard.
You're a security guard. And what do you do, sir? Construction, I could see.
Mason,
Yeah. But you guys, listen, you're learning the gardening together.
I always do it from school to right?
This here is Rose. This
You
is
used to do it at school?
Yeah.
This is rosemary that going here,
Yeah.
and this is thyme.
And thyme,
There's
okay.
rosemary back there again.
Uh-huh.
See, and this is sweet basil. There's
Oh,
all
that
different
looks
types of sweet
nice.
basil. You see?
Yes.
The smell.
Let me
The
smell.
is different. See?
Mmm.
Yeah.
Woo. Right, just so you get you
You
cook
can
from
smell it
here,
already?
John?
I ain't cut no
smell
yet.
it already?
Yeah, it is so
I know anyone cutting it yet.
Let me
no.
see. Yeah, but it's strong, guys.
Strong.
Strong.
This here is the cucumber at the back here.
Yeah.
That's growing up from the ground. This cucumber here.
That's a cucumber there growing up there. And do you
As you can
take?
see,
Uh-huh.
this okra here now.
Oh, okra's coming. Okra's coming.
The okra's coming, see? The okra's coming.
So
Things strong and true, yeah?
Yeah.
And no start to hit me no, boy. No start to hit me no, but
Okra's coming, see?
wow.
Okras.
That's
so everything
lovely.
started bearing no.
Yes.
As you can
it's
see, everything blossoming. So
blossoming. So that
that
means
kind
it's
of
looking
thing
good.
that is time
So
to
you take turns to water?
Yeah, he will water it. Other goes to water. I ain't water yet. I go working it too.
Right,
Come
so
in.
what you do? You bring a
help
hose
us,
or
yeah,
you bring the water?
Barking up.
Here we go now.
Huh? You bring a hose?
Here we go now. Here comes the cucumber.
Oh, you have a cucumber there?
Yeah.
Wait, don't step on it. Okay.
Here,
Wait.
here comes the cucumber now.
Woo!
See how easy it is?
Yes,
Here's
it's
the
easy
cucumber
to
again.
grow them.
There's cucumbers again. And
And how
this
long ago
weeks.
you planted
Weeks.
this?
Weeks.
So how you, listen,
Weeks.
when I plant the cucumber, it dies. So
Weeks.
how you get it done so well?
Weeks and cucumber.
So do you use goat manure?
Sheep manure.
Sheep manure, sheep.
This is rosemary also.
Rosemary, okay. And you put the cucumbers close to the fence
Yeah.
so they can travel.
And this one, that you know, is something that more than grow here, and the cucumbers will still hold on.
Wow, yeah.
They still hold on and it's going.
Yes,
Yeah, we always gone cucumber.
right.
See?
Yes. But this is so wonderful because, you know, as you said, people sit down here. Because I come here to my friend that is over there. And I was saying today, wow, they look like there's a block there. I never saw that before. But then the next couple of times I came, I saw this beautiful garden and I'm thinking, so I got out the car and decided to come and ask him about it.
Here's cucumbers
Got a
also.
big cucumber there too. Got a big one there too, Papa. There you go.
Coming?
Damn, look.
See?
Yes, they're coming.
And cucumbers always
Ready
coming.
to go into a salad with the
And
lettuce.
this is lettuce.
And
see?
all natural
Couple
manure.
weeks. Well,
Yeah.
just best natural
Not
manure.
fertilizer.
Not fertilizer.
Wow. Natural fertilizer, I was going to say.
No.
So these beds what are you putting in these beds?
They're trying to get some shades, but
Anything you put in there.
Right.
yeah. Yeah, just lots of mossy sweet.
Wow, that one is big. That one is big. How you all feel to see them growing?
Young and grow, man.
Wow.
Some everybody will get, you know.
Everybody gets something.
Everybody
Boy,
will
all
get.
you just going up ready to
Just
ready.
going- it's going to
Everybody around
sell.
here can come and get some.
Anybody that want anything could come and get. Just
Yeah.
come and get.
Just
Oh
a way to
my
honor
God.
thing.
Just come and get.
In a positive way.
Yes. How many men? How many men come out
Enough
here?
for me, yeah.
Like how many? How many men?
About 15 something.
About 15?
15
Yeah,
something.
God bless you, other men.
And you
Don't always come at one time,
Mhm.
but you will get them in and out.
So you're
in and
telling
out.
me you all sat down one evening and decided, why don't we grow some food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of left it like that because we don't burn off the grass.
You burn the grass.
Yeah, because
we
we
spray it down.
We have to spray them down and then we can say you can
So we
burn it.
always get
Mhm.
cut
After
all the
burn
time.
it, that's how your idea come about.
Cutting
So
it
somebody had
out.
an
Instead of
idea
letting-
and you
instead
sat
of
there, about 15 of you, and you decided to, this is what we're
friend
going
here,
to do.
Jeffrey, right? He's mostly farmer out in Rito.
Yeah.
He got his own ground too, right?
Right.
So he see is who will say first come out and say maybe park it, ground, maybe we could put some base and plant a food, man. Everybody can still come and get same. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They still cut back your food bill too at your house still. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? And still, as
This
I
is
say,
brilliant.
doing it in a positive way. And we do it still too for the school.
For the
to
school.
come and work because the school lacking enough things down there right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, come in the younger school, so got netball team, all kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
cricket team and thing, they ain't got there so now.
Oh, so you believe the
Nothing.
children need
Oh,
more
yeah.
stimulation?
Yeah, they want so.
Okay.
This is a good idea. They
This-
started down there before, but it fall off quick.
Why?
You know, you got to ask teachers to take it over there.
But listen,
But we willing to teach them.
They
We
should have
willing to
come
teach
to the
them.
men. They should come to the men out here.
Yeah,
sitting
don't
down,
come
liming.
forward already.
They
Don't
can.
come forward, yeah. So we gonna
Okay.
set a thing, talk with the headmistress
The
and
headmistress.
see how we could go about to start the program back at the school
Right.
for
So
them.
because they like the
Yeah,
idea.
as long as they get start and we could go and help assist our thing, the children can get interested.
Yeah, but
And
this
it
seem
will keep on continuing
this
there.
seem like a plan that this like a pilot program, man. That
Very
they
man.
need to do in the
And
communities.
yeah, it's true.
Here's
It's
the
true.
tomatoes.
It's true.
See tomatoes no blossoming.
Right, the blossom is there.
Tomatoes.
And I could tell you feel so proud about that.
Tomatoes
Yeah,
no
I tell you,
blossoming.
only happened the other day.
Tomatoes
It was only even the peppers and all
And
starting to get
everything
blossom
looks
and
it
things.
look healthy.
Got sweet
And we ain't
peppers.
getting any big lowry either.
Got
Right.
sweet peppers. And let's see, as you can see them blossoming
The
already.
blossoming. They look healthy though. They really look healthy.
Yeah,
and
man.
it's
Yeah, we ain't getting a lot of rain. We have to do enough hand wetting and stuff.
yeah.
But-
So let me. How
Until we-
often do you wet it?
We try that every day.
I used to vet it every day, but I don't get chance to always work. So I vet it according to how it works.
So come and do
So
it.
if I don't get in, somebody will
Just
get
come
it.
and do it.
Right. Somebody else
You
comes
understand?
and
So
does
you go out
it.
with
But we
somebody.
got a-
Nobody ain't gonna let them dead.
got
Somebody
4
come in
square.
this guy.
We got a 4 square tank, right? We supposed to set up.
What's that?
A 4 square tank to catch you water.
Oh.
And we can run
You
some
want a
drink.
watering
And we can
system?
run some drink.
What?
Yeah.
This is big things, man.
Here's where
Yeah.
we want to keep do the 4 square.
But they say everybody on board, man. Even all your neighbors and things.
The neighbors come
Yeah,
in.
neighbor here said she would give you some water. We just gotta get a hose. Yeah, everybody.
But
Like
this
it. 'Cause
is
they say for
brilliant.
everybody. Yeah, like it. We just do it for we and thing. And for everybody in the neighborhood. And as I say, something for your children at the school too. And
Yeah.
the teachers can bring them out.
Good evening.
The teachers can bring them out here and still, show them a little agriculture. So that way, it basically was about.
Right.
You
in school here?
And it's got society.
Of society,
yeah.
right? But yeah. So this is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What is that?
Eggplant.
Ah, yes. Oh, you planted them there and they're coming
But they're
up.
also gonna go up on
They will go up. Okay.
so they
And you know, I mean, it's a small piece of land, but you have done so much with it.
How much beds these days?
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. I am telling you.
Just simple so.
Yeah, you can
Can
just.
happen.
It can happen. So, people, what do you say to the rest of Barbados who are going to be seeing this?
Well, if it got any little land somewhere like this, like how we occupy this little land here, if it start saying like this, features in the community saying positive, that's what we want right now in Barbados. We want positive youths coming up right now. You see what's going on in the country. So we want to change back our direction. The youths going in right now to like back in the 80s and 90s when they come up. When things was that kind of way, everybody living in love.
So, as
what we need.
men and fathers, you're taking responsibility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we making our start. And we encouraging other people about Barbados apartment. Got the same kind of land. Over here, just start, and you make a start, it can come up just like this or better. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna say about it.
Right, and Daddy, what you want to say to the people in Barbados concerning what you guys are doing?
Start to do more constructive things instead of liming and doing and letting the mind out of there and wickedness. That is my thing. Do more constructive things. All like how we do here. Enough people can come and do the same thing. It don't have to be this. It could be terrace. Could be a little. Land don't have to be this big, and land could be bigger than this here. But do something constructive instead of just idling away.
Idling away.
Let's do something constructive.
Wow, and you guys, you took the what they say, the bull by the horn, and just take the land and start.
We should do it.
And luckily the principal agrees and everything. You work on this too?
Janine?
Sometimes he helps us, so even the younger guys as
Everybody will come
well.
and join a hand. That's one thing. Everybody will come and join a hand. As you see things here, people in the community ain't gonna let them
Do you
join.
find it as men? Do you find this relaxing?
Of course.
Well,
Some
for
people
sure.
play with themselves, but it's alright. I like it. I
You
like the
like
sweat.
it?
Yeah, cause
Yeah,
I was in
because it
sun.
give you a
So
sweat.
I like it. 'Cause
You
it make
like
me
it?
sweat. Yeah. I like that.
Relaxing.
Yeah.
You find it relaxing.
And they say positive still. And they say everybody from the community can come and get something. You understand? Just know you're gonna be ready. And everybody can get something.
Yeah, I love the fact that the children are going to benefit
Yep.
from this. So they are going to find land in there, or the children
They
are
had
going
it
to come
already.
out?
They had it already, as they say, but
And
they
they
ain't
had a
last too long.
garden in there already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't.
that's the-
They ain't come. They say they want help, but they ain't come to say what they're gonna, the area that they're gonna do it in.
Alright, we
What
got
they're
it on
gonna
there.
start. So we
Talk
just
to
waiting for them to come reply and say when they want, what, and when they're gonna start the program. So the fellas will go on board and help.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand?
Yeah,
So-
can you just repeat what you just said there a while ago?
Uh,
About that they had the land and
Yeah,
you're not
the school had garden inside the schoolyard. So I don't know if they're going to start back that garden or they're going to do something different. But they said they want to do something. But whenever them ready, the fellas will be ready to help them also. So it's up to them.
So
to
these
decide.
gentlemen out here help as well?
Yeah, fellas,
Russ?
you know the guys.
Yeah?
You guys gonna
You
be fighting
help
over
as
the
well?
camera.
Did you heard me? Do you help?
No, man.
You don't touch the ground?
Yes, never said nothing. They help.
You just didn't
He ain't
help.
come. He ain't get on board yet.
You
That's what
haven't
he trying
gotten
to tell
on
you.
board as yet.
Yes, sir.
But you gonna eat some of the corn and thing though? Ah.
Maybe.
All right. This is wonderful. All in Church Village.
Dog's land today.
Dodds Land.
Today, exactly.
It's Church Village. And this is the area that they sit down and they devise all these wonderful plans. It's devised right here. I'm sitting down right here. Right here.
I look at your garden. I look at your garden. See, right, I look at your garden.
Right. Oh, because you're looking at something beautiful. Instead of the bush that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah? And you play your dominoes. Dominoes play here.
Dominoes, yeah.
Yeah. And
Somebody have to keep it clean.
keep it clean. Well, thank you all so very much for this opportunity, and we will show. I think it is so inspiring.
I was watching channel regular, man, so you can see it, man.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's what you do. But the see face, I see it. They see on YouTube, man. Yeah.
Thank you. So look for it. More than likely it's gonna come on Monday,
No problem.
right? We're gonna do it on Monday,
No problem.
Monday evening, and inspire the rest of Barbados.
Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
man.
I
It
hope
can happen. It can get
they do what we say. You got some land. How you doing? Let's get you the young in the community, you know, and teach them something how they can help themselves. Yeah, in a positive way.
Yes.
Or you could turn it our business for them.
Yes. But
Understand?
this is all community.
Yeah, this is community thing. This is a business. And this,
Yeah.
as they say, we do it because we don't want the push to come back. And as they tell you, you can help feed everybody in the community too. And we do it too for the school. Or we realize that certain extracurricular things down there lacking right now. Yeah. The children just do school work. The only real thing they ain't got going on right now is running.
I know you
Nothing
don't
else.
you don't call this a blocking, but you know that's how people say
That's how,
it's a
that's how people perceive it. But in there, so
yeah,
as they say, everybody who see sitting down here does work.
work.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But then we will come and get really a leisure thing, talk with work, talk with other things, talk with the ground well, so we look at the get to put in it, and kind of things.
lovely.
Yeah.
Great community spirit. A pleasure meeting you, sir.
Thanks.
Yes,
Same to you.
yes. Keep up the good work.
Yes, no
Okay.
problem.
God bless.
All right.
All right. I come in for some when you're
Yeah,
ready.
man. Next couple of weeks.
Wow. Listen, Theory. Oh my goodness. I watched this with a big smile on my face. Good night, Theory Gittens. Did you see most of this?
Yeah, good night, Marcia. I was watching the whole entire time.
You were. Miss McCLEAN, I told her, come in, Miss McCLEAN, this is your thing. We have about 15 minutes to chat before we move to the next segment. But Terry, when you watch this as a young man, this is something being done by 15 guys. What are your thoughts?
It's inspirational. I firmly believe that, as I said with regards to the presentation I made about community governance, this is an integral part of it, and it brings persons together. And not only that, it shows that, well, if you know you're lacking an item, and I say item in particular, vegetable, you can go and pick it, and it's not an issue. Like, it just brings persons together, and I really love to see it, and I would love that you would get back to this in Barbados. Not only that, it helps to reduce costs of buying certain essential, you see, as I said before, vegetables, Even a situation whereby it may be that, as the gentleman said, it could be a business venture, and then persons pull away from the land, and then they
Yeah.
actually go and sell it, and then that can be, you know, residual income coming in. So I love to see things like this. Is what we need happening across the country, not only in the so-called blocks or hoods of our Barbados or the lower income areas. But this is amazing. It's fantastic. And as I said before, there are other communities that instead of actually growing food, they bring stuff and they create a pot and everybody gets something to eat. So we just gotta get back to this brotherly sisterly love in Barbados. So I love to see it.
Yes, yes. Miss McLean, just give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come in. I can't wait to hear you on this, ma'am. Miss McLean, I was watching it and say, man, I hope you were watching. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Hi, Thierry and everybody. And you know me, Marcia, I was smiling because as I looked at that space, I said, I'm going to tell Marcia that I have some okra seeds.
Yes.
Because I have a relative, she's actually 90 years old, and she has, it's maybe about 12 feet wide, an okra patch. And once you know okras, once you start to pick them, you just get them every day. And she had these seeds. In fact, she said to me, she doesn't even, she had these seeds, she planted them, and then some days if you forget, they get too big and they get hard. So rather than throw them away, you let them dry and you plant them. And what they have there are short crops, like 6 week, 8 week crops. And it's beautiful. It's, I mean, but the guys articulated themselves how that can build community spirit, as Thierry says. The nutritional benefits to the community in a place where we in Barbados, so many people are hypertensive, diabetic, obese, and all of that. Being able to reap, you know, fresh produce. And I looked at those leaves there just now, and then I thought about spinach. And there's so many things that they can grow, you know, like on the fence. I checked a note, and a friend of mine who lives around the corner was asking me the other day if I wanted some seedlings for passion fruit. And you know, passion fruit can grow on vines.
When you get, remember me when you.
No problem. I will send them through you. So I will get them to you, because I just send a note to the guy and say, if you still have them, here's what we can do. So I will get them to you or Janine or both. And I think this is excellent. And as the guy said, you know, you clean up bushy areas, but you also, you beautify it, but you beautify it with edibles. Let me put it that way. You know, vegetables and so on. This is excellent.
It really is. And you know, Terry, I want to bring you again in this conversation, because one of the things that they said to me was how the teachers, they brought a group of the children to see the crops. And then they said to them they want the guys, some of those 15 guys, to come now and to teach the children in the school, you know, how to set up a garden in the school. What are your thoughts on that theory?
I love it. I absolutely love it. And the thing about it is that we have persons in the older generation and also in the middle section of the age groups who are set in their ways. They grew up under the revolution of Barbados and, you know, pertaining to higher education, and they forgot our roots when it comes to growing stuff. So in terms of saving Barbados, it's the youth, it's the very, very young persons who are going to need to make this a part of their culture, our culture, looking at the persons who are 20 or older. But I'm speaking about the very, very young ones. This has to be something that's integral, a part of them. And I love what they're doing. I want that they get through with what they wish to do in terms of the schools. And I would love that it's just spread across Barbados, because at the end of the day, the future of Barbados is up to the youth. Yeah, I'm not saying that the older persons are not important. I'm just saying, if we're going to save our country, we need to change the mindset of, well, you know, I'm this person in this profession, and I don't want to touch grass, or I don't want to touch the ground. We need to get out of that mindset. So it's up to the young persons and anybody who is older to hone that love of the land back into our people.
Yes. Now, somebody said to get the word block. If you notice, I have it in quotation. And there's a reason I did that, because someone passing there, Miss McClean, is going to think it's a block. You see the guys sit down, they might be, you know, doing different things there. And so when I the times I went there, I thought it was a block. And the guys corrected me and said, no, man, you know, don't call us a block. You know, we're not the normal. We sit down, we talk about life. And we, you know, so I deliberately have it there in quotation. Not because I believe it's a block, but I want to bring attention, you know, Terry, to this thing that we sometimes, or we judge. There are times like I did. I thought it was a block, and I'm thinking, my poor friend, now this is yards away from where she lives, you know, and so on. Having grown up in certain parts in Jamaica, turns out the guys are changing the community, transforming the community, and it is just wonderful to see. And what's amazing is that they said, Miss McClean, that they had bougainvillea growing there. But the bougainvillea, it's, according to them, the school didn't take care of it. So it was really bushy and prinkled. The prinklers would stick them, and so the prickles, whatever you call it, would stick them. And it just was untidy, and they chop it down. That's the other part of it. They took charge, Theory. They chop down the school things, right? And dig up around there. So we planting food. They said this is poisonous. We can't eat bougainvillea. You know, that's what they said, and they got the, you know, got it going. Beautiful. And I think people are just loving it. Any other thoughts, guys? Miss McClean, you're muted.
Now, I was saying that years ago, about when I built my house, just about 30 years ago, I put up a bougainvillea head. Somebody told me the other day that you can't do that now, especially, you know, where I live in relation to the road. And so I am always very careful that I keep it trimmed back, because even if you go out there cutting, the prickles can cause problems, you know, when you get pricked. So around the school, while it may be pretty, it may be dangerous for little children. And so to my mind, the food is the better choice. In fact, as you were talking, I was just envisioning the school having on the other side of the fence, you know, separated by a few feet so that the plants don't get all mixed up, that they can have their gardens with the children, you know, on the other side, and you just bring it around the fence on the, you know, the perimeter, right around the perimeter. And so that it really can grow into something really, you know, valuable on several fronts: nutrition, education about agriculture, community spirit, young and mature engagement, you know, in the village, the community. So the only sad thing is that, you know, in recent times, the word block has taken on such negative connotations, but people often remind you that in neighborhoods, people hang out, not because they're not employed or they're necessarily looking to get up to mischief or evil, but, you know, it's a place to engage and socialize. So I am very happy to see this. So Marcia, your challenge now is to your viewers and our, you know, the loyal opposition. Identify similar areas in your communities and go for it. You are muted now.
Make it an official challenge, Miss McClean. This is brilliant.
Okay, the official challenge on behalf of the Marcia Week Show, with Thierry giving it his full support. We want those persons who watch this show to identify areas in their community where they can beautify it in this way. With, you know, beautify, as I said, with edibles. That's the way I call it. And when I say edibles, Thierry, that has another meaning elsewhere. But I mean, with vegetables and fruit, you have a lot of miniature fruit trees and dwarf, you know. And for those people in urban communities where you may not have, you know, expanses of land, tracts of land or whatever, we can also look at urban gardens. You know, so we can talk about it some more, Marcy. So that's the official challenge. Start with 6-week crops and so on, things that are short crops that you will be able to see the produce, you know, lettuce, beans, okras, what we call Chinese cabbage or bok choy in other places, and we can go on. And and then you put in some other ones that take a little more time, spinach and all of these things, very nutritious. And while you're at it, identify the nutritional value of each of the vegetables or whatever you plant. So that you can share that information with the children, with the other persons, the older persons who may need to control the diabetes and hypertension and so on, and contribute to doing that by nutrition. I think I've said a mouthful there, Marcia.
No, but it's a great challenge. It's a great challenge. Let me read some of what people are saying here. Theory. Justin is saying, I think I understand. Angela says, well done. Where's Angela? Angela Knight says, well done, community. Well done. Angela, what do you think about the community challenge, though? You're going to do you have a garden? And can you get with your neighbors and create something like this? Sharon says, I saw Bumblebee yesterday for the first time in ages. I was getting my teeth all. Every time I pass by Carmere, I look at rail fencing. Oh, she's saying a lot of fencing that things can go up on. That,
right.
There's so much food that we could be planting,
Yes,
a lot of food. And right there at Combermere, you have the horse stables. Right there, you could be getting the horse to help with that. Yeah. A hurricane writer says you would have to find teachers that like gardening and planting and can sweat a little in the hot sun, or you could get some of the guys.
Exactly. Community support.
Community support. You could probably get community support, right? Neonsa says it can create an appreciation and love for agriculture. Margaret is saying you have to be careful of thieves, but let me tell you something. Let somebody go down there and try that there. Theory, you know what I mean, right, Theory? It ain't happening. You know that, Theory?
It ain't happening.
It ain't happening.
It'd be very foolish. Trust me.
It ain't happening.
Don't touch.
Thieves? Where? Did you hear the guy said there are 15 of them that do this? Go down there and try it. Don't try it, please. No thief in happening with that. You're going to see them. The thieves going to water them. They're going to pass and water the plants. You can touch it there. Somebody Justin says supermarkets may not like this.
No, I don't see why. Well, the truth is they will not produce the full amount. Supermarkets will, if the supermarkets don't sell A, they sell B.
Yes.
So no, go for it.
Yes.
In fact, by the time they finish, they may be able to supply a few small supermarkets. You never know. With certain things. For example, if they grow, they were talking about chives and so on, they may be able to sell to supermarkets or, so I think there's room for everybody to get into it. And the more, sometimes you go to supermarkets, you can't find vegetables. There you go again, Marcia. Can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Trying to make connection with the guest who is supposed to join us to actually talk and give us a little update on Edmonton. So that's a session that we're going to slip right in, and then when Apostle Scantlebury comes, then we're going to have a group discussion on all the topics. Okay, so we're waiting on someone to come in to talk to us about Edmonton, give us an update on Edmonton. It will be very interesting what they have to say. So please listen up, guys. But Matthew Brown says these guys need to teach a minister of agriculture a little something on how to cut back on imports. But, these are the kinds of programs that I remember even in COVID, that when they said they were going to do, and I listened to the program, listened to what they were going to do, and I liked it. And I said to my husband, this is one time I'm going to support the government and I'm doing this thing and whatever. And it only lasted for 2 mornings and it was over. They moved quickly on to something else, So, yeah. But let me see any more comments here. Theory, can you see the comments, Theory?
I could see them on the screen. Yeah, I can see them.
Ah, okay. That's the only way you could see them. Okay, only what? Only jackass would want planted bougainvillea around a primary school. Oh Lord of mercy. I don't know who planted it. I can't say the people are jackasses. I don't know.
Marcia could add something.
Yes, go right ahead.
Two things. I think they should potentially grow crops with respect to ginger. You know what the benefits of ginger. If they potentially could grow some turmeric. So that we can have those kind of crops that can help with the health issues that persons have. Another thing too is that something that's a staple in Barbados is flour, and we saw what happened with Ukraine. And because Ukraine was going through those issues, the price of flour went up, and it was very difficult to get the flour here because, as most persons will know, and who don't know, is Ukraine is I'm not sorry, the major producer of flour in the world, but one of the major producers. So, in my opinion, I firmly believe that even if it's a situation where persons grow bean crops, then grind those beans up and potentially make their own flour. That can help reduce the flour imports. So these are the type of things that we can look at. And I just hope that it continues and basically it spreads across Barbados. Can't see Marcia.
Oh, she's back.
There. I
Yeah.
am right there. I am right there.
Yeah.
I am right there. Thank you. Thank you so much, Terry. Galvez is saying those guys look matured and responsible to me from listening to them talk, and they're all working men. Hurricane says parents will have to wean their children away from living on their social media devices, but the parents are living on their social media devices also is true. I have to be monitoring myself, boy, with that. The mix would also encourage bees because you need them for pollination. Serlene says, Barbados, gem of the Caribbean, not docile, peace-loving, and truly industrious. Yes. Marva says, very commendable. I like the idea of the cucumber vines running on the fence. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, my goodness. Carol, yes, says, everyone takes part. It is very unlikely there will be stealing. Yes. And somebody saying that the passion fruit will go well on the fence, and make sure that they get some passion fruit trees as well from Miss McCLEAN. All right. Victor Lewis, we miss you. Victor Lewis says, wonderful, so refreshing. This is great, guys. Great stuff. Stephen Strickland, last one. Cassava is one of the easiest crops to grow, which can supplement flour and very healthy. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So, folks, tell you what, we have a segment here that we are going to, and I want everybody to pay attention. How many of you remember Gabby's Emerton? Who remembers Gabby's Emerton? Yes? What do you remember about it, Terry? You're muted. Everybody muting today.
Something happened to Emerton and somebody was trying to take Emerton or mash up Emerton or something like
that. Bobson is going to come on to tell us, give us the history. He's going to give us beginning, middle, and end. And do it in 20 minutes. He's going to tell us what is going on. Miss McCLEAN, you have been around a longer time. You know much more about Emerton than...
Right. I know why Gabby sang the song, because you remember there's a storage plant in Emerton, that area.
Yes.
People were moved out and they were moved up to the area, what do you call it there now? Close to Wildy on the other side. I'm trying to remember the name. And there, so he says, you tell me to forget, but my grandmother, she, whatever. So don't ask me to sing it. So that was it, that there was a relocation and you know what that can do to a community. And
yes.
Then those who remained complained for years and so on. But it'd be interesting to hear your guest. This is somebody who grew up in Emerton, or?
Yeah, she's coming right now. Thank you, Dave.
You tell me to forget that my grandmother was born right there, so alright, I say I shall go. You tell me to forget, it is there I want my own children to grow. Alright, I say I shall go. But I hope you understand how I feel about Emerton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. And I hope you know it's true that I would never forgive you, because look what you do to my Emerton.
Well, you know, let me just welcome Mr. Hal Batson, not Bernie, Hal Batson. Hal Batson, welcome to the Marcia Week show, Mr. Batson. And you are in the diaspora. I realize that, and I just want to say a big Barbados welcome to you, sir. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, as you can see, I was speaking to 22-year-old Theory, who is on the panel with us tonight. And I'm so glad he's on while we're talking about this, because he knows nothing. All he knows is about Emerton is this town. So he's going to be very much educated tonight. So take us from what you can do for us in 20 minutes, beginning, middle, and end. Right, take it away, Mr. Batson.
Okay. First, let me say that as a Emertonian, I blame both political parties in Barbados for destroying Emerton, both B and D. Let me get that out of the way clearly. And let me explain to you why. In 1976, by election, Billy Miller told the people of Emerton, vote for me and you don't have to move. And the people did, and were told, too late to turn back now, so you got to go. And that is where the song Emerton came about. It's chapter 2 and 4. Some of us went to Clapham Park, some went to the Pines, some went to Brandon, some even went to St. Philip, all over Barbados. And I'm very fortunate to be the only person in the room when Gabbert, as I call him, write the song Emerton in less than 10 minutes in Clapham Park. We have been fighting for 48 years. From 1977 to now, 48 years. The people have won the case against the governments. And I said governments, because I blame both. As I like to tell people, I ain't no LP. I ain't no DLP. No, I ain't no BLP. I am no LP. I'm a Barbadian who is very disappointed, because in my opinion, Emerton is worse off now 48 years later than it was 48 years ago. The same Gabberts had said, please don't make us move, faster improve. But you know what they come and say? Oh, but the them say that you gotta go and this and that. But if I memory can remind me, members correct, the Dipper did say we gotta move, but he said everybody have to move from Fontybell, Lakes Folly, Kensington Road, Mason Hall Street, and in between. But the present government, when they took over, have never done that. We still got people in Emerton today that living within yards of the sewage plant. It is not as bad as it used to be, as I have been told, but it is still bad. No one should be living that close to a sewage plant. So, but before I get into any more, let me see if you all got any questions for me before I get into everything else.
Yes, sir. So, you know, so we're getting the history of this, that this was, there's a sewage plant to, you know, that they built there. And the plan was to move everybody, right?
Yes.
And then, you know, you guys were promised that, listen, you know, you won't have to move, right? So one political party says, you know, we're going to build this sewage plant here and we're moving everybody. And then the other political party comes in and said, don't worry, vote for me and you don't have to move. Everybody goes and vote for that party, and it didn't happen. So what's happening now? Well, some people moved, but you're saying that there are people who are still living close to the sewage plant up to this day. They're having any health issues?
Yes, they do. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, my family have been identified as some of the worst affected. I have a sister who's still alive, thank the Lord, who was told by the doctor, if you don't move, it's only a matter of time before the sewage plant kill you. And she had to move. She's one of the persons that actually started the fight against the government of the day. But as I said, I blame both governments. I don't think I can stress that enough. Because I know the little bit I know about parliamentary happenings in Barbados. You don't necessarily have to continue a project. You can move it or you can abandon it. And especially when you got a bigger majority. And I believe personally, that just in my opinion, it was a major issue in changing the Dipper government in 1976. Because even though the sewage plant was in Bridgetown, the canvas was all over the country because they're going to affect this body and that body. And even now, Chapman Lane, we got people that live between Kensington Road and Lakes Folly, for those who know the area, that can't even get natural gas. But nobody ain't talking about that. So there's a whole lot of issues. We who grew up in Emerton, and at the time I was fortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you look at it. I used to live between my mom in Emerton and Gabby's mom, my aunt, in Clapham Park. So I was able to see and experience life both ways. We were promised a bus service, and this is 48 years later, and there's no bus service to accommodate the people who live in Clapham Park. So we are still fighting when the bus comes from Sergeant's Village or wherever it comes from to hope we can get on. Yeah, we were told when we first moved, all of these things gonna happen, but the representation went away. Me personally, in my 2 times living in Barbados, I have never experienced a representation as a MP in the city. All of them, in my opinion, represent them people, but not really the people. I could be wrong, but that's my personal opinion. So before I go any further, any more questions?
Yeah, Terry, is there anything that someone is, think of Terry, if you have a question? Adrian Hines is saying, wait, the DLP said you had to move. The BLP
Yes.
said no, you voted for them and still had to move. He
Correct.
says, what am I missing here? Is he missing anything, or that's it, basically?
No. That's a part of the thing. Is, remember, we have been fighting this issue for 48 years. This is not a yesterday problem. It's a 48 years problem. You know, like I said, you still got people living in Emerton, and a lot of people that don't know the facts go around saying, "Oh, but the people in Chapman didn't want to move." Yes, we didn't want to move at the beginning, but when you bring the tourist plant in and it smells so bad, even the tourists in the harbor complaining. So you know that the people that live close complaining twice as much. And then you had people that got moved to Clapham Park. Some houses, people say you can't, they tell you you can't move. Oh, you can't move rent houses. But then certain people, depending on who you're connected to, you get your house moved up. And other people, house get sold. People get moved into housing areas and unfortunately died in the same housing area. Not that there's anything wrong with the housing area, because there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just showing you some of the issues we had. For example, you live in Emerton. Everything is close to you. You walk by Kensington Oval. You're going to fish market. You're going to meat market. You took me now and carry me to Clapham and other places. And in order to get into town now, I got to get a bus. No accommodation. We had in Emerton, we had a community center, 3 playing fields. When you moved to Clapham, we had none of such. None. Zero. Also, I can tell you this. Unfortunately, again, for my family, the first house that moved from Emerton was belonged to my brother. The government of the day used it as an office, and he dead and gone and never get a cent rent.
Hold a minute. So you're saying that after you moved, the government used your house as an office?
Not my house, my brother's house. Yes. And it's the first house that was moved there. And I can describe where the house is. I can tell you where to go and find it, and you could ask anybody up there. If they're honest, they'll tell you the facts. They're going to repeat what I said to you. When you go into Clapham Park from across Courtesy Garage, it's going to be the first house on the right-hand side. That was the first house moved from Emerton. on
Yes.
June 30th, 1977, 48 years ago. And on the 4th of July, CARICOM holiday, we did what was considered one of the first major community programs in Barbados, where we had a program called Emerton Day. I have since moved it as I move out of Barbados to Florida. They have it in Boston, they have it in New York, and they have it in Atlanta. It's not called Emerton, it's not called Emerton Day, but the concept is the same, where we bring Barbadians together who no longer live on the rock. So, people got this thing of saying, man, American people, they're all criminals and all kind of thing. We still hear that. Only today, literally today, I had a conversation with some friends from Barbados that some of us grew up in the area and some didn't. And you still hear that. I'm happy that Gabbard's have be able to use Emerton to bring some recognition, but the fight is still on. I'd be saying, we are
Marcia, if I could, I would want to ask Mr. Batson a question, and I think you're Celeste's uncle, I believe. Was there
Yes.
an issue about the size of home? Because as I said,
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes,
I was
ma'am.
there
Yes,
from the
ma'am.
beginning, and I
Yes, ma'am.
recall that one of the problems people had, that they had certain size homes in Emerton, and they
Correct.
were offered houses which were not of comparable size. So that was one of the problems people had. The other question I would want to ask, because I would have been much younger when this started, were people given a choice of where to go? Because everybody they couldn't move you as a
No,
a
no, no,
whole.
no, no, no. It
Were
wasn't no
people given
choice. It wasn't no
a choice?
choice.
Oh,
We
okay.
know, we from Emerton, we know everybody can fit in Clapham Park. We all understand that. There were too many houses that all can fit in Clapham Park. But the issue we were having is that you had people who politicians were bringing into the neighborhood and saying, well, Maxine had a problem with her house and we got a wide in the road in Broad Street, so they bring her from Broad Street and put her in Clapham. But when we
And
live in
ignore
Chapman,
somebody. Okay, yeah.
I'm saying that those things were wrong. I was advocating from early when they talk about no rent houses going. I said, well, why don't you all build a few blocks and build them a little higher than the farm, and maybe all the rent people in Emerton who want to live in the same area have that opportunity, and they didn't. So as I like to say, they destroy Emerton. Because Emerton is worse off today than 48 years ago. That's my opinion. Seriously,
Yes.
seriously, my opinion.
So,
Because like I said before, we in Clapham still don't have a bus service. We were promised that the Breton Hill bus, if they come in, let's say every hour, we won't get the one at 10, but the one at 11 will pass through. So it makes it easier, especially on the senior citizens who came from the town in the where they had to get on a bus to get in the town. I know some old lady, one old lady in particular, rest her soul. We call her Millie, who we say bakes some of the best sweet bread in the world, not in Barbados, in the world. And she will literally walk to town because she get tired of waiting for the bus. I mean, because when the bus comes, you can't get in. And we still got that problem and many other problems in Clapham Park today. We ain't had no lights when we moved to Clapham. Anthony Gabby Carter, Alec Watson, and myself went to the Barbados Light and Power and we complained, and that is how they had lights. When we moved to Clapham, there were no street lights. Zero. I have never seen the then MP, Billy Miller, in Clapham Park. I ain't say she never went there, but I never saw her once. Because it was like, they're no longer my represent. I don't represent those people anymore. Who live up there will represent them. But so I'm saying it is a serious thing. We in Emerton have been fighting for 48 years. We have been scattered, but the good thing about the Emertonians, we are still together. Even though we live far away, all of us, we are still together. I have a chat that I do at least once a month, and we come on and we talk about issues and how we can help. I mean, I'm very proud at this time to say one of our Emertonians is going to be the next president of Barbados, who I had a chance to grow up with. But even him, when he was an MP, I tell him personally, as though he's my friend, Mr. Bostic, I am disappointed in you. You should have done more for the Emerton people. You are one of us. And that's how it is with me. As I said before, I ain't no LP or BLP or DLP. People might
Can I
call it.
ask another question, Mr.
Sure,
Batson?
sure.
before you do,
Sure.
Miss McClean, let me see what Theory. Theory. What is there anything you want to ask Mr. Batson or a comment that you want to make?
I didn't know all this was going on, to be honest. I'm gonna do further research on it, but based on what you were telling me, I'm very disappointed. And I would really like to say that I would like to apologize that something was not done to the satisfaction of those that live there, because it's not good to separate persons who grew up together. Maybe there was something that could have been done, as you said, placing the blocks in a way that the houses could be higher, something like that. But I'm just gonna keep listening, and then I'll give my other comments.
Okay.
Yes. And while just before Miss McLean comes in, somebody was asking what what are some of the issues what is it that you're having, what are the present issues, what are your concerns? And I think one of them that I heard you say is that your uncle, whose house was used
No,
as
my brother, correct,
your
my
brother,
brother.
I'm sorry, your brother. So
Yes.
listen, guys, because you've got to listen to what he's saying. Because some of you are typing and we're not listening.
Yeah,
Let's
correct.
listen
Okay.
to each
That's okay.
other.
That's
He's
okay.
saying that his uncle, one of his issues is that his uncle's house, the first one to be moved, was used as an office. Was it like a political office?
No, no,
In
no, no. It was used by national housing to work with the people when they were
national
coming into the
housing.
area. Yeah,
Oh,
national
I
housing.
see. Okay, set up
National
to
housing.
for the displacement and the moving
Yeah.
of people. And
Also,
you were
also, also, Miss Weeks, let me, sorry to interrupt, but let me tell you this, thing. It took me years for national housing to agree to give me the date the first house moved from Emerson. It was
yes.
like, it was like, why so hard? Why can't you tell us? You move our people, scatter them to and fro. But now we are asking a simple question. Could you give me the date? I don't remember exactly. And when I was home recently, in celebration of the 40th anniversary, and we did it. People
Mm-hmm.
couldn't believe it. Why are you celebrating 48 years of this nonsense that they're doing to you all? But the reason we do it is that we want to keep it alive and keep it in the
Yes.
limelight, because I am saying I blame both parties. I can't say that enough. However, I am saying also to the present government, if you, because you're the one that won the 76 election, and you took over, you built this sewage plant, correct? And the plan from the former government was to move everybody from as far as from Kensington Road to Lakes Folly, Fontibel to Mason Hall Street. And we still got people living in all of those places I just told you. So which means don't tell me about the former government. No, I don't want to hear about the other government. You took over. When you want the praise, when the licks come, take the licks too. Because this is popular. My memory might be wrong, but this is about the third time that they became the government of the country since then, and the people are still there. So I I am very passionate about Emerson because I grew up there. I born in Emerson. I have a picture with the home. The home is no longer there, but I see things. I was able, thank the Lord, to come home for about a week and a half and be able to put a program together. And we got some mileage, and thankful to the nation and whoever else come out and help support that. But more importantly, the people in Clapham still need a bus service. Still need a bus service. We still got old people in Clapham. I think, and let me tell you, some people don't know a lot of history. Let me give you a little bit of history because I know you got other people coming on.
Yes, and Ms. McLean has a question or a comment for you, but
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
what you're saying. Thank you.
okay. But for example, people don't know that Emerton produced people like Reggie Haynes, one of the greatest footballers out of the Caribbean, in my opinion. We know about Gabberts, but we got another guy called Richard Lane, and he got a song with the Source Plant. I hope you get a chance to play. To me, it is even more biting than Gabbert's own Emerton.
What's
You
the
know,
name of the writer?
Richard Lane. Richard Lane. It's called the
Richard
Sewage
Lane.
Plant. It's one
Richard
of the
Lane.
items that I sent to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
But I'm saying, okay, you got Reggie Haynes. We had Young Waddell. We had one of the best social workers, in my opinion, in Barbados, a man called Reverend Chesterfield Morgan, rest his soul. And we are still fighting to get the community center renamed after him. I had a conversation about a month ago with the MP. And I say MP, I don't say representative, because I personally have never seen an MP who represents the city. That's my opinion personally. None of them, on both sides or in between, however you want to call it. None of them represent the city, in my opinion, and especially Emerton. They come to Emerton. I like to tell people all the time, Emerton is divided 2 times. Listen carefully. I want all the listeners to hear clearly. I know I go fast, so I can go slow to make sure you get this one. Emerton is divided, in my opinion, only 2 times. It's when the rainfall and people who can't swim stay in the house because they don't want to come outside and drown. And at the election time, by politicians who we see mainly at election time. Edmonton is together every other time, but those 2 times is the only time that Edmonton is divided.
Wow. Miss McLean, your comment or thoughts. I hope you
No, I think I kind of almost forgot what it was I was asking. Move on. It's gone past because I was thinking of something else. I think some people were asking about current issues because I think at the end of the day, what he has described is the history of problems faced by Edmonton. What I'm trying to understand as I listen, and I think somebody had asked a question about current issues.
Ms. McLean, can I interrupt you a little bit? I can give you a current issue. The current issue is that since the sewage plant is placed in Edmonton, more families have lost people to cancer, and their families had never had a cancer death in their family before. So that is the present issue. That is the present issue.
So one of the concerns you have is that they need to pay attention to the health status
Correct.
of persons who still live there. My question is, since the intention was to move everybody, and recognizing that you were disturbing a community of a community which was in close proximity to town and all the things that you mentioned, any relocation would have impacted families in multiple ways. I asked the question, were people given a choice? And you said no. The other question was, why is it that persons continue to be there in the situation that, are they still being offered, or are those people just waiting in vain? I'm trying to understand the circumstances of the persons who continue, because what you're saying to me, if I could pull together some of the concerns expressed, there were challenges which continue because people were relocated. Clapham Park was the area I was trying to remember. And they were relocated to an area where you did not have basic services, utilities, transport, etc. And 48 years later, some of those challenges remain. That's in relation to persons who move. In relation to persons who remain, people's health status has been jeopardized, affected, because I know of several cases, and I know some of your relatives. So I understand some of the challenges that they pose, and I know your sister was a major player in trying to get these issues resolved. But I'm trying to understand now, particularly for the persons still in Edmonton, what must be done.
Well, I am of the opinion, I'm not on the ground in Edmonton, as you obviously, but I'm of the opinion that still that the best thing for the people is to be moved away, as far away from the source plant as possible. And also, a simple things that I think that all the governments who were involved in the movement could have done. Why couldn't it be called Edmonton Park? So people would know when you go up there, here's where we came from. And we're not Barbie's Gardens, but Edmonton Gardens. I think that there is some simple things that wouldn't cost you anything. But not even that. Again, you're using the name to not even so the young people who grow up don't even remember where we came from. So right away, you're preaching, in my opinion, it could be wrong again, divide and rule. Because I don't see why it can be called Edmonton Park. Why it got to be called Clapham Park? If we go, you're already moving, which is a bad thing. Majority of people would say moving you from Edmonton was not a good move. It doesn't matter what side you're on politically, and personally, I really ain't concerned with that part of it. I am saying that in the best interest of Barbados, that is not a good move. If you come and you bring a tourist, a bus full of tourists, and you carry them around there, and the tourist plant kick up, you will want to, what is someone thought people live wrong there? Because when they get real bad, I telling you, people that work in the port has got problems. So the tourist ships has got the problems too. You know what I'm saying? So people believe, but this body and this and that. But no, I am telling you, we need to get some serious work. The people, including my sister, as you mentioned before, sue the government and won the case. It's some years now, but they can't settle it because they say, but Miss Maxine, she only had 4 people living in her house, and we only can give Maxine because she owned the house and she daughter, and so no, we're not giving anything to them. But so them people in suffer too. So there's a whole heap of things that are unfortunate for the Edmonton people. Bobby Clark, rest his soul, was the main lawyer, and he passed away. And there's a lot of people who passed away since, as I said before, some from a lot of them from cancer, that their families never experienced losing other family members from before. But since the sewage plant, it happens. I have a family member who worked at the sewage plant that right now he got Alzheimer's so bad, and he leave Canada to go home, praying that he could go to Barbados to help make a difference. And he got sick working in the sewage plant. And you don't, like I said, like to say, you don't have to take my word for it. Do your research, and I'm welcome to come back on. And I guarantee you, if we're all honest, everything I told you is 100% correct.
Yeah. Well, I think Thierry has a question. Go ahead, open your mic, Thierry, and go ahead.
My question is, if the sewage plant is so bad, why aren't we as Barbadians looking to improve the conditions or the practices of processing sewage? I remember when I visited America, which is Florida, they had their sewage plant, but the way they process it, you couldn't even smell it. You don't even know that there was a sewage plant there, right? So I don't know if there's some type of best practice that we could implement or improve to solve those issues. Pertaining to what the gentleman said with respect to the names, yeah, that was something easy that could have been done, I think in terms of heritage. On that point, I agree with him. But for my last point, that's why I firmly believe that Westminster is failing the people. I firmly believe that we need an active president, a president that can come and say, okay, but this is a problem. The people bring a problem, send out a referendum, and then we go from there. But when you look at a B or D and this party has control and you have to go through this poor process of begging, that's what we call it, and nothing gets done. So I firmly believe that the people should always have the power. And this is a perfect example. I thank him for being here tonight, because if I have to speak about why we need the type of presidency that we need, I could draw from this. So I just want to say thank you, and that's basically it.
Yeah. Before Ms. McCLEAN comes in, I think people somehow, everybody is not fully understanding the issue. Someone is asking, so did you want to? Why are you complaining that you were moved? And then they're wondering, so why are the people still there? Understand. So let's break it down quickly before Mr. Batson leaves.
Okay.
Mr. Batson, before Mr. Batson, just let me say something here.
Okay, go ahead.
What Mr. Batson is saying is this. They were living happily in Emerton. They then heard that there was going to be a sewage plant in Emerton. Okay, this was in the 1970s. This is during Mr. Barrow's tenure. And they were going to put a sewage plant there. And that they would need to move the people all the way from Fontabelle, and all of these people, right, would have to move along that stretch. And the government in opposition then came and said, listen, vote for us. If you vote for the BLP, you would not have to be moved, meaning that they're not going to build the sewage plant. They're going to kill the idea. Okay? They will kill the idea. No sewage plant. Vote for Billy Miller, BLP. Okay? He's saying that swayed the entire nation in getting rid of Mr. Barrow. The people went and voted for the BLP. In voting for the BLP, so they're happy. Emerton people are happy. They don't have to go anywhere. But then the BLP went and built the sewage plant. They said they could not stop it. So they went ahead and did it. And therefore, then said, okay, well, we know we will have to move you. Do you understand? So it's not that they are ambivalent about moving. It is that the politicians changed their minds on that, changed what they were doing. So then they said, okay, well, if you're building the sewage plant, we can't live near the sewage plant. So therefore, we will need to be moved. And they decided to move them to Clapham. Clapham could not hold everybody, didn't have all the amenities, no lights, no proper water, no services, all of those things. They moved them into terrible conditions. This is my understanding from Mr. Batson. And then there's still people in Emerton that are still to be moved to find a place that they promised them The same BNP government promised them that they're going to put them somewhere. They're still there, and some of them are dying of cancer. The smell is atrocious. They have all kind of illnesses because of the smell and because of all the chemicals coming from the sewage plant. Mr. Batson, is this what you're saying?
Yes, but let me correct one thing.
Yes.
We did have water in Clapham Park, but we didn't have no lights.
No lights. Okay.
As I like to say, the movie up there, and it was when it get 6 o'clock, it was darker than midnight because there was no lights. You know, so and why saying to you, like I said before, you're welcome to go to Clapham Park and talk to any of the senior people who live up there and have been living there for a while. And I
Yes.
guarantee you, whenever you have a chance and I can come back on your show,
Yes, I'm going to do that, sir.
they would tell you the truth, and it's exactly what I'm saying. You know, there's no bus service that pass through Clapham Park. And for example, in Clapham, when they built the little 2x2 foolish community center, I stood on the rock that was given to us by Rayside and tell the then MPs, Mr. Henry Ford, rest his soul, and Bradshaw, this is a bundle of crap. Because in Emerton, you bring in people who are vibrant and into sports. As I said before, we had Robert Earl, Caribbean table tennis champ. We had Marva Carter, first woman that ever represented Barbados in table tennis. We had Patsy Calendar, who lived across the street, but spent most of her life and growing up in and around Chapman Lane. You had young Waddell, a boxer. I said before, Jackie Opel, one of the greatest singers of all time. You know, and I can go on and on. Frank Walker, even though he was from St. Philip, spent a lot of St. Peter, spent a lot of time in Emerton because he was one of the founding members of Everton Sports Club. And Everton Sports Club came from the Reef. For those who could remember, they had the Reef. I heard about the Reef. I never knew about it. But my understanding that Everton Club, since so the people in Emerton was mostly I would say a fishing community, but they live most of their lives in town. The only most time you get a bus is if you go to maybe an excursion. But now you carry me and put me in a place, so I got to get a bus, but there's no accommodation for us. And like I said before, it's still happening today, 48 years later.
Well, what I'll tell you, Mr. Batson, and I'll give Miss McCLEAN a final word on this. What I say to you is that I promise you, sir, that I'm going to go and take my camera, and once you've arranged for those people, tell me where we need to go, give me numbers, we'll go and we'll have a talk with them. Because as Theory rightfully said, if this is still an issue that is happening to our people 48 years later, regardless of which party did what, it's not about that. It's about the people who are living there. We are going to go and have a talk with them and to bring this issue right back. As I said, as you see on the screen, we will not forget. Okay, I want to thank you for coming. But let me have Miss McCLEAN have the last final word on this. And then, but before Miss McCLEAN, I just want to say this quick. Guys, remember this, that this is potentially what is going to happen with the people in Bridgeton because of that Pierhead project and all the hotels that are being built. See the parallels, people. It's coming back. It's coming back. All of those people, right there, Bayland, etc., they've told me, I went there, they told me that they got letters. We have to make sure that history does not repeat itself. Okay, go right ahead, Ms. McCLEAN.
I had made some notes, but I think I will read a comment that was sent to me. And the person says, "Good night, comrade. I am watching the show and I can honestly say everything Hal is saying, I can attest to. He and I grew up together. I still live in Emerton Lane. We are still awaiting remuneration and settlement from the sewage destruction. And up until now, no one is stepping up to help us. I was a constant intervener with Vita Batson, that's Mr. Batson's sister, on behalf of the residents. But up till now, no word. That's how they treated us, very unfortunate. I put the situation to all the MPs and nothing happened. So I thought that was useful. I would end by saying, basically, having seen 48 years pass, there's several mistakes, which unfortunately the damage has been done. However, there's several problems being experienced by the residents of Emerton, and I think that has to be given priority. Those people are relocated. I think if there are issues that were promised and still awaiting, the sad thing is a lot of people might have passed, because, are elderly, etc. But I think what has to happen is you have to look and see what are the issues relating to those who have had to move, what are the problems that are being faced by persons who are still there, whether they want, most of them probably wanting to move and not being able to move. But I think the comment from the gentleman who sent me that note reinforces the concern, which has not gone away and cannot go away.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. McCLEAN, and thank you so much, Mr. Hal Maxson, for coming on and sharing with us and educating us and reminding us about this issue, this very important issue. And so we will follow up with you, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
God bless. This has been real good. It's good to remember. It's good to remember.
Mm-hmm.
We have Mr. Apostle Scantlebury joining us at this time. Good night, Apostle Scantlebury.
Hi, good night to you, Madam Weeks, and again, thank you for having me on your show. Good night, Madam McCLEAN.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, ma'am. Good to see you, and good to see our gentleman. I didn't get his name.
Thierry Gittins.
Good night, Mr. Gittins. How are you doing?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
Doing well, sir. Doing well.
Yes, wonderful. Well, tonight we have a couple of issues that we want to discuss. We're gonna have to we have a short time to do it in, so we're gonna touch on them and then so quick comments on different things, and we will move accordingly. Now the first one that I want to bring to our attention, and I'm gonna ask Ms. McCLEAN to kind of set us up on that. And that has to do with this billionaire plan to buy a Caribbean island.
Part
of a Caribbean island. But as I'm reading, I'm realizing that their aim would be at some point to get a whole Caribbean island, right? So, it's very interesting, especially when we think of all that's happening in Barbados at this time. This is something that I think we need to be able to sink our teeth in tonight a little bit. So if we can take about, say, 10 minutes and look at this, Ms. McCLEAN, introduce this whole thing to us.
Okay, this afternoon I got a note from a friend of mine, my very wide network around the Caribbean, thanks to my years of teaching, where it was brought to my attention that an entity has offered to purchase 10% of the island of Nevis. And this is there's a face that you've seen behind this, and the idea is that they want to set up a free, I made a note here, to set up a free, well, they call it a special economic zone, the first of its kind in the Caribbean. But when you go and look at the first thing that was put out, I don't know if Marcia, you're going to show any of that, but
yeah, we're actually going to show a little bit of the video that they put ready.
So we are looking, and I'm quoting from something that was shared and pulled back after there were protests. We are purchasing sovereignty. Remember, they started out. St. Kitts and Nevis, interesting enough, was the first country within CARICOM to issue citizenship by investment. But they're stepping it up, not a notch, they're stepping up real high. And according to this first thing, it says we are purchasing sovereignty from a government to create the world's first free society. Now, this notion of a free society comes up from people who subscribe to what they call not liberal, but libertarian philosophy. And in that, They argue that there's very little space for government, whether it's in public or private life. But this is it here. But this is not the one. This one came after. This is not the first one. But if we can play this and then we can go back. This one came in response because the quote that I gave you came from something else. But what happened when the citizens, people in St. Kitts and Nevis heard about this? They decided, you know what, this is not making any sense. And what was pulled down, there was a first one that was issued, which talked about this creating free society. So if there's supposed to be another video, I would have sent you, Marcia, two sets of
let me see.
this is the second one. But at the end of the day, we still can look at this. But basically, when we hear of a free, because they talk about, and the other thing, this is how they describe it, because in one thing they're saying we propose to create the first special economic zone. And in this part of the world, when people talk about economic zones, they think of commercial or business activity. However, they go on to tell you that they are looking to create a family-oriented residential community to create thousands of jobs under a local first policy. And then if you look at the videos, you see they make reference to Monaco and all kinds of things. Now, as I said, the St. Kitts and Nevis is the first.
For clarity, so what we have some pictures of videos, but we only have one video, one YouTube video. So if you want to just take a pause and send it to us, because I think
okay, you can put up that one. I would have sent you, I believe. Let me tell you. Yeah, I sent you. There's one. Okay, all right. Let me see. There's one. Okay, that one before. There's something that says Free Society. It's a web.archive.org.
Right. It's not a video, so that's what I was confused.
That's pictures. Okay. Well, that one.
That's the one you want. That's what you want.
Yeah, that is the one. If you click on the website, you would see it says here, because Dave would have to click on the site itself, but it says here, and this is the spokesperson, because this one, Marcia, is from the second video. What you have here. Let me explain what this is, because since you have it up and you said 10 minutes, basically after posting what I referred to, which is really something I have on here, which reads, we are purchasing sovereignty from a government to create. Let me read from the first one. We are purchasing sovereignty from a government to create the world's first free society. We are exploring ways for the public and interested parties to participate. Many prominent names in the libertarian world are joining our team. More will be revealed soon. And then they ask for email address. And then I have frequently asked questions. What's this project about? For many decades, mostly libertarians have been trying to create a new country by various methods that have ranged from unsuccessfully claiming an existing piece of the land, Minerva liberal land, to create floating structures on the water, seasteading. Unfortunately, none of these attempts have succeeded so far and have encountered substantial resistance from existing governments, or were technically or financially too difficult. Our conclusion is that to really gain sovereignty, the most efficient way is to negotiate with an existing government. There are many examples of governments granting another nation's sovereignty over a part of their territory. The more prominent example being Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, which the United States leased as a coaling and naval station in 1903 for $2,000 payable in gold per year, $2,000 payable in gold per year. Now, of course, we know the challenges with Guantanamo Bay. As much as the Cuban government would want to get them out, there's an existing agreement and whatever. Other more benevolent examples are the current discussions between Maldives and other nations to sell them a piece of land in an attempt to have a solution for their people once their islands permanently disappear. Now, if you know anything about the Maldives are basically threatened by sea level rise and can disappear anytime. So the question that the Maldives government has had is, how do we prepare for such a situation where you may have to move an entire population, which is a very different situation? Which government are you negotiating with? We have started up preliminary talks with governments, and interest is much higher than initially expected. For confidentiality reasons, we are unable to disclose any names. Now, this is their website, but the truth is, this has surfaced because the government of the premier of Nevis apparently has agreed to sell 10% of the land in Nevis. And that has what has come up. From what it is alleged, that even though the premier, who used to be foreign minister of the Commonwealth of St. Kitts and Nevis, I think that's the proper term, is Commonwealth. Dominique is a Commonwealth, but Nevis, St. Kitts and Nevis have an interesting structure. They are a nation, but the island of Nevis is run by a premier, but there's a prime minister over the entire country, which is made up of those two entities. But that's a lesson people need to research and so on. But apparently, even though the current premier is part of the opposition in the total scheme of things, he and the current prime minister of St. Kitts and Nevis seem to have agreed to this particular plan. Now, of course, having done that, a number of questions have thrown up, and understand that this is only preliminary work because I became aware of this only today. But the questions that are being asked by the Kittitians and Nevisians, let me put it very bluntly. The question is, what is in it for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis? What are these people going to be doing on this autonomous jurisdiction? And so coming out of that, after people reacted very negatively to the information that I shared, apparently there's a press conference or press release, and this is what we saw happening. You're muted, Marcia.
Dave, go ahead and just play some of that quickly.
Hello, fellow Nevisians and Kittitians. My name is Olivier Janssens, and I'm the founder of Destiny. I've been proud to call myself a Nevisian for almost a decade now, and in that time, I have come to see both the challenges and the immense opportunities of our island. Around the world, special economic zones have transformed entire nations. Dubai is perhaps the clearest example. What was once a small trading port is now a global hub of wealth, innovation, and opportunity. Europe has Monaco, and the Middle East has Dubai, but the Americas still lack their own equivalent. I believe Nevis can seize that role. The first country in the Caribbean to create a modern zone of this kind will not only uplift its people, but could become one of the wealthiest and most desirable regions in the world. When I looked at Nevis, I saw a place ready for transformation. The southern corridor of the island is today completely undeveloped and sadly in decline. Erosion eats away more land each year. Yet this very area, if properly managed, holds the potential to become the engine of Nevis's future. Today, I would like to share with you what we have envisioned for this project and what Destiny can become, and how it will ultimately transform Nevis.
Yeah. Just let it without the music, without the sound. Now, I just want to say something. I laugh, because I do film. And here I said, here comes the music. Because this is supposed to, Apostle, is a certain kind of music they're showing you now. It's almost, this is, they're taking us back to Eden. It is this place of beauty and it's and all of that. And before you guys jump in, and just let it sink in, because Barbadians, stay on. You need to understand what is going on here. I don't know if anybody saw this newspaper article, and I'm looking for it, and for some reason it is no longer. I cannot find it on the internet. How many of you remembered that one of the developers said concerning the Pierhead project and concerning Bridgetown that it would be Dubai on steroids? Who remembered that quote? It was said. However, when I go to search for it, I cannot find it. Barbadians, stay on this program here tonight. Very important. Ms. McCLEAN, you have brought something to us. Listen here, guys. It is very important, right, that we ask the particular questions I think that we need to ask, and things that some buzzwords that we need to, whenever we hear these buzzwords, that we really, really need to perk up, right? One of them is, or a few of the words, not one word, words, is foreign investment. Anytime you hear that, and you remember in the last year or two, how many times you've heard about foreign investment in Barbados? Just think. Special zone. Sonny came on here and told you about all these people that came from overseas, and they wanted their plan. They had these meetings. They're supposed to have these town halls. Sonny is British, and she was telling us about these town halls that they want to create these zones. Sonny, you can send me some notes in my phone just to remind me, but she did. Smart city. Smart city. We must ask who owns it, who benefits, and who gets left out. And I think that we need to, there's some ethical issues in ethical guidelines that we need to think about in terms of protecting sovereignty and our people. And especially right now, where Ms. McCLEAN said to us that this whole thing, they started with the citizens by investment. So anybody in the world, they could come and they could invest, right, Ms. McCLEAN? And they can invest a certain amount and they can become citizens. Where have you heard that before, Barbados? Where have you heard that before? I am very sure that within our new Citizens Bill, Ms. McCLEAN, there's a section of how much you invest. Plus, in addition to that, you can become from anywhere in the world. You can become a citizen in 9 months, CARICOM in 6 months. Barbadians, wake up to what is going on. Don't change this channel right now. Don't move. Very important. It's all about this. I brought this on here tonight. This here. This passport, I tell you. Anybody from, they could be Dutch like this man here, millionaires, all of them. This passport here, very much in demand for this passport here. Let me hear the Reverend on this before we move on, Ms. McCLEAN. Go ahead, Reverend. Apostle.
I'm going to say this is very striking that they used the soundtrack from Gladiator starring Russell Crowe. And from my knowledge, that music is designed to be very hypnotic. Okay, so it again, it's the use of what I would consider demonic tactics to slow down the mind and the thinking of the people while they're vision casting. At least that's what I would call it. But here's the reality of this. I don't understand why is it that these individuals, whenever they're thinking about these projects, they're constantly comparing the Caribbean region to Dubai.
Yes.
I mean, we don't have the landmass, we don't have the geophysical element or structures here in the Caribbean to even remotely consider doing anything on that scale as they did in Dubai. I've watched several documentaries on how they went about doing what they did in Dubai, how the royal family went about that project. And then when you have one person that can come to a Caribbean country and that one person can present a project over there, I understood that in Dubai, it was individuals from around the world who brought their projects to the royal family so that they could make selections as to what they wanted and what they thought would make Dubai, a futuristic, well-developed place. But here's a point that I want to make. The leadership in the United Arab Emirates are designing things to better their own system, their own people. These projects that are coming to the Caribbean are only designed to benefit a few hundred people. Okay, it's always a tactic of how to put more money in the hands of those who have money. And then it is the plan of exclusivity. And the final thing that I want to say here is when you are doing projects like these projects are service-based projects, meaning you need waiters, you need chefs, you need maintenance people, you need housekeepers. So who are they expecting to be the ones handling all of these jobs? This is almost like the government is saying, we're going to do this. Yes, you're going to have jobs, but at the same time, it's lowering the consciousness of the people. And we're saying to our people in the Caribbean, every time that we do projects like these, we're saying to our people, well, these are the types of jobs if you really want to be involved in what is going on. This whole real estate element, where you have to have a certain kind of job in order to make it in your own country. I think that's very, very detrimental for what any government, and especially if the government of St. Kitts will actually get involved in something like this, like selling 10% of your own land that your own people worked so hard as slaves to make sure, and now you can just make a decision to sell it 10% of it, just give it away like that. It's crazy. So, I mean, just like there in St. Kitts, we've got to be careful that even here in Barbados, we don't allow these things to happen. We need our people to rise. We need our people to be able to prosper in their own country. And until we can see things that are coming from governments to say to our people, we're about you, we're thinking about you, we're looking at what it would take to make Barbados better for its people, I think we should reject anything like this. And any government and any people in the Caribbean should seriously reject any project like this coming to their shores.
Yes, Apostle, and it's this, and I'm gonna keep holding up this passport because tomorrow, on Tuesday, in Parliament theory, there is a bill.
Tomorrow, Marcia, tomorrow.
Monday. Thank you, Mr. McLean. Monday, there is a bill called the Citizens Bill, and there are sections of that bill. I'm telling you that if that bill is passed in the state that we've seen it, I don't know if anything has been changed in it. That I believe, it's my opinion, it's a gateway for this kind of activity to happen in Barbados. If the people are not going to open their eyes and decide they're going to defend this country. When I see the ads theory that are being put up, selling, basically they're promoting, it's like, I was shocked. They're promoting Barbados and telling me, oh, you can become a permanent resident. You can become a citizen. People who can't speak, they're from India, they're from all over Europe. There are lots of ads. and they come and they see it and they like it. It's what happened in Joe's River.
Mhm.
It is what happened at Joe's River. It's what's happening in Pierhead. I am telling you.
Yes.
This
It's
is what's happening in Bridgetown.
and it's planned. There are plans for that to happen in St. Peter as well, as far as Spikestown is concerned. Okay, and I was privy to have an individual speak to me. She said, Apostle Scantlebury, there's something very dangerous coming to St. Peter. Very, very dangerous coming to St. Peter that is going to basically push the people of St. Peter inland. And
yes,
unfortunately, you know, it's going to be very dangerous because Spikestown will no longer be Spikestown. They're actually calling it Whitestown at the moment because everything that is coming into Spikestown right now is geared towards the more affluent community here in the island of Barbados. So they're pretty much planning to, you know, turn Barbados into this metropolis for the rich and the famous. So sooner or later, Barbados is not going to be a fair space for its own people. So we've got to do something.
So right
Got to do something right
I
now.
want to bring Theory. I want to bring Theory telling me something on WhatsApp. So let him comment. And I see your message here, Kamar. I'm going to get back to this, Kamar. Very important what you have there. Go ahead, Theory.
Thank you, Marcia. What I sent in the WhatsApp chat to you is that right now in Honduras, this is actually happening. Rachel Ray says it's already happened. So there's a section of Honduras, and I watched a documentary a little while ago, and persons who are part of the Garifuna community, who know what the Garifuna people are, they were moved. They were moved from their area so that they can be a private city, or we can say a kind of a sort of city that was built for these high net worth persons. So when the apostle, and I hope that he's comfortable with me calling him the apostle, he spoke about Spikestown, and we were speaking about what's happening in Nevis. These are things that are planned ahead of time, and these persons do not care about the natural order of communities or even that of the natives that live there. So I don't know if you have a chance to show that at some point in time, but this is something that's occurring consistently, and we need to fight back.
Yes, where I sent it to Dave and we will look at it. But Ms. McCLEAN, you open up a can of worms here. Go ahead. Let me let Apostle. I hope you can finish your thought. I just want to get the young man in because he was sending me something. But go ahead, Apostle. Let me let you finish your thought and we go back to Ms. McCLEAN.
Yeah, I appreciate what he was saying. He's so correct about what is happening here. And I was made privy to the plans that they have for Spikestown. You know, through a source, I was given the information on what is, and there's actual testing going on in St. Peter right now. A lot of individuals think that when these yachts and these mega yachts are coming in, you know, they're docking in Spikestown, it's a trial run. And unfortunately, the people in St. Peter, they don't even understand what's going on. They think, oh, wow, you know, this is really all of these, you know, mega boats are coming in, they're docking in Spikestown on Sunday. They don't understand it's all a test run to see if it's going to work properly. And we have the Pierhead, we have other areas that are planned. And listen, these folk are not just coming. This has been years in the planning, and Barbadians must be made aware that sooner or later, we're going to be pushed out of our own country if we don't make a stand right now.
We have to make a stand. Ms. McCLEAN, you have a quick comment? As Dave have here there, the boiling frog theory. A lot of you, I thank Adrian Hines and V. Hoy and all those people who are the social media warriors out there. You are trying to warn Barbadians and let them understand the seriousness of this bill that they're about to pass tomorrow, that they're going there, all 28 of them are going there to pass tomorrow, guys. This is the trajectory, it's my opinion, based on what I'm seeing. This is where it's going. This is where it's a boiling frog theory. If you put a frog into boiling water, it will immediately jump up. But if you put it in cold water and slowly heat it, Ms. McCLEAN, the frog won't notice the dangers until it is too late. Listen, don't move this dial tonight. Don't go and watch something else. Share the live. You will never say you were never warmed. Go ahead, Miss McClean.
Yeah, Marcia, there are a couple of things that we have to recognize that seem to come together. I have been, the more I think about it, and as I've read the legislation, and you have to look at all of these pieces of legislation together. The immigration bill, the citizenship bill, there's another piece of legislation coming to legalize what would have been, because we didn't have legislation in place from the first. But I also have to look at what our CARICOM sister countries or the leaders are saying. And it is not unexpected that if you look, and I would have sent something to you, where the Prime Minister of St. Kitts, Dr. Drew, he is saying St. Kitts and Nevis holds back on Caribbean unity. Okay? St. Kitts and Nevis refuses to sign the OECS CARICOM Free Movement Pact. So in essence, while they are talking about selling a piece of their country, now together St. Kitts and Nevis are only about 101, if you round it up, square miles. And of that 101, St. Kitts is about 65. So you can work out that Nevis is under 40 square miles in total. And sitting in the middle of the country is a mountain for anybody who's gone to Nevis. But here you have the country doing that. I want to share this. The allegation, one of the allegations, and I think this is what has upset people. It is alleged that the Premier of Nevis, his law firm, is handling the work on this supposed to be request to buy this 10%. So it is alleged from what I was told that the Premier of Nevis's law firm is acting on behalf of the purchaser, and it is further alleged that his wife is the real estate agent.
Wow.
And before you go, I know you're too diplomatic to say this. I'm good.
No. There's something.
I'm not saying any names, Ms. McClean.
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Well, okay. There's some things you don't have to reveal too early.
But don't worry. I know what I know. I've learned.
Go ahead.
I want people to know, Apostle and Theory and viewers, that some of these actors that she just mentioned, they're linked to key people in this country. That's as much as we will say at this time. Okay? Some of these actors are, that's all I'm saying, because it's important. I got to tell my people to be careful. My people, listen. Some of these actors, based on research, to the best of our knowledge, are linked to key people in this country. That's all I say. Go ahead, I'm saying something.
Okay. What I was going to say as well, the conclusion that I'm coming to when you look at the actions of several member states within CARICOM, as much as we talk about regional unity, the interests of the people of CARICOM, of the Caribbean, are not even secondary to the interests of foreigners, people outside of the region who want to do these kind of things. So we talk about we talk about free movement, but we cannot think about it. We cannot alter the rights or the conditions under which foreigners can come into Barbados and become citizens unless we address what we're doing. Ironically, and I will stop there, for many years we have been trying to get to a process where descendants of Barbadians beyond the first generation can become citizens, but we are making it easy. Well, thankfully, the proposed bill should address that, but we are making it easy for people who have little or no interest or connection to Barbados or to the region. But we're doing it in a way that's because at the end of the day, and I made this point and it will stop, if you look at the numbers of people who in the first instance would have received Dominican citizenship through investment, they far exceed the population on the island of Dominica today.
That is a fact. Somebody saying, what? Yes, it is a fact. That's what they told me in Dominica. Now look up on here, Apostle and Theory. Yes, but St. Kitts has leased or given 4 square miles to a West African businesswoman for a transshipment port, which will import and distribute agricultural products. He's wanting to say. Does this sound familiar? I want us. This is nothing against Africa. Anybody knows?
But this in itself is familiar. But this is not a problem. What they are proposing is a society where they conduct.
I understand that, Ms. McCLEAN.
But there's a big difference.
Yeah,
there's a commercial.
I understand.
It's a lease, not a sale.
Yeah, I understand. However, I just want there's a similarity here. There's a similarity. The same way we weren't selling passports, but we're seeing now. We weren't selling at the time. We don't have the Citizens by Investment. But as you look at our new Citizens Bill, you see there is something. There are changes. I'm saying, Apostle. There's similarities. There, it's too close. It is giving you like something here is funny. Something here about this whole thing is funny. And that is the point I'm trying to make too. Yeah, but I can't remember who was ready to speak, whether it's Apostle or Theory. Either of you, go ahead. Go ahead, Theory. You're muted.
Oh, I can say something, but it was me. Pretty much, I think that if you are in a country and your country is to the size of St. Kitts, you have to be very selective about who you sell land to. Right? You don't have that much to work with. So when we have these kind of conversations about them selling 4 square miles of their land, that's concerning to me. I don't even live there, right? When we look at the capacity that they're looking to do with the whole Destiny project, that's concerning to me, because at the end of the day, yes, he's saying that, when I say he, I mean the person who's doing the Destiny project, he's saying that land is not used when you look at the south, but it doesn't mean that it cannot be used, and it cannot be used by natives who may necessarily go and do some business and then come and say, I want to repatriate my country. So just to give it to a foreigner, I am very concerned, because when I heard his accent, I thought about something that most persons, not most persons, but a lot of persons don't know. And I'm just going to ask a general question. Did y'all know that Norway had a colony? Did y'all know that? That the Norwegians had a colony? Anybody know that?
What do you mean? I mean, inside Norway?
No. So Norway and Denmark had certain islands in the Caribbean. Norway had that first, and then
the Dutch. Yeah.
Right. So when that happens, and I'm seeing these things, I'm just telling myself, are we going back to the past? Are we going to a period whereby we want to reignite that kind of colonial dominance? So it's concerning to me, and I don't know about the persons who live there, but us here in Barbados, and I'm hearing it from regular persons, that they're pushing us into the center. And I'm not hearing that just only from the persons who are, up there in the high intellectual spaces, but I'm hearing that from everyday Bajans. They feel like we're going to be pushed right into the center, and it's concerning.
Yeah.
It should be. Go ahead, Apostle.
Well, he's so right about this, because I'm like, even here in Spikestown, I remember when Kay Shepherd first moved out of Spike, so I spoke to one of the directors there, and I asked, why did you guys move out of Spikestown? And they said, well, we're rebranding, and we are rebranding to reach a higher clientele. I said, okay, fine, not a problem. Now, Courts has gone out of Spikestown. We had the DaCosta Manors building there now for, over 20 years. It's just been there. Nothing has been done. It's not been put into use to benefit the people of St. Peter or the neighboring parishes. Right now, we have 2 banks in St. Peter, RBL, CIBC, and like a whole string of entertainment spots, a whole string of bars and different spots where people come and hang out. If you go through Spikestown right now, Courts has just left there to go to their new mega store. So you can see that there is a consistent downsizing of Spikestown leading up to the big plan that is already in place. The problem is that I know for sure that in Spikestown, the 3 main persons who own much of the property in Spikeston now since the war that they had. Those three main persons are still pretty much at war with each other, which is why the project has not taken taken off as it was planned to. But what we're seeing even now in Spikestown and the plan that they have for Spikestown, I can tell you the citizens of St. Peter, we who live in St. Peter, we're not going to be able to drive through that area freely.
Yeah.
Not with the plans that I heard that they have set for St. Peter. We're not going to be able right now. St. Peter is the only parish with two marinas back to back, side by side, and they're building a third one right now. Pendry is building another one over there, and this is years that the people in Six Mains, they were asking for a fish market. They told them they couldn't give them one because of coastal management issues. Well, they came and they built Tricky Beach. Nikki Beach. They built Nikki Beach, and now we're understanding Nikki Beach was simply just a plan to see whether or not we could move forward with this current project. Okay, so what we are realizing is that the globalists, if you want to call them that, but you know, the rich and wealthy, that top tier 10% of the world, they have now targeted the islands of the Caribbean because we have leaders in the Caribbean that would love nothing more than to make sure that when I leave office, my bank account, my Swiss bank account or whatever is covered and I don't have to worry about anything for the rest of my life. They're not concerned about the people. And as I said, if we really want Barbados to work for Barbadians, all of these things like this immigration bill and this citizenship bill, even those individuals on the Barbados Labour Party, they should know that this is wrong. Nothing like this should have been ever attempted without a proper structure, without a proper constitution in place. This is a serious attack on the sovereignty of Barbados and Barbadians, and it should not be passed.
Yeah. Everybody tomorrow on your social media, folks, you know, all we can do, Miss McCLEAN, is send out a warning. All we can do is to educate. All we can do, Theory and Apostle, is say to people, research, be aware of what is happening around you. That's all we can do. You have to take it further. You've got to have that love and patriotism for your country, that you are ready to resist. You're ready to fight. You are ready to resist. And when we talk about resist, we're not talking about being violent. You know, we're talking about, listen, use your social media pages, you know, refute what is happening there. And why do we need to do that? There's a few things here before, oh my goodness, it's 9:40, but I think this is so important, Ms. McCLEAN. Why the Caribbean must be concerned? Why should Barbados be concerned? There's a few things I want to go through with you. Number one, right? These are the red flags, right? Sovereignty for sale. I know it's not the same thing, but the Afrexim Bank, you remember that it operates almost like an embassy. If we allow private groups to lease or govern land within our borders, we're essentially selling our independence. Once you give that away, you will never get it back. That is what is happening. I'm not against Africa. But the way that they dealt with that bank, it is you got to be watching that. Watch that. Number two, hidden agendas. These kinds of projects, like what's happening in Nevis, often marking themselves as innovation zones. Does that sound familiar? These are some buzzwords. Smart cities. I heard this government talk about smart cities. What's her name? My British friend Sonny came and she showed me the documents where they're setting up the smart cities in Barbados. And they held a meeting, a few little white Bajans were there. I had the documents. smart cities, but in reality, they're usually tax havens, places where corporations and the wealthy can escape regulation, oversight, and responsibility. Is that what is happening here in Barbados? Are they moving us inland? Are they gonna move the people from Swan Street to create that mall up there? Suppose you see the plan for Bridgetown, where it feels like you and I cannot go there. Number 3, social exclusion. Ordinary citizens will not live in these free societies. That's why they put the fire station inside. They will be fenced out. We will be fenced out, priced out, and told that it's private property. Joe's River. Joe's River. I'm sorry, Miss McCLEAN, I didn't even realize when you set me up how this thing is serious. That is not development, that is economic apartheid. And that's why Mr. Lewis and them, there's the cases coming up for Joe's River. And listen, right now it starts small here. It starts small. When they could go ahead and mow down a whole hill in Joe's River, that the locals go and take their families and look out, and one person mow it down to cut it down a whole hill to set up their big mansions, and they alone use the hill. You're gonna tell me that's not social exclusion? Security and criminal risk, another danger. When you mix private law, crypto financing, and offshore governance, that now I'm talking mainly of what is happening in Nevis at the moment, but that doesn't mean it's not coming here. You create the perfect storm for money laundering. And listen to the next one. Human trafficking. Why were we downgraded? Why were we downgraded? Or even covert political influence, where they use their money, these people that are coming in and getting their citizenship through investment and getting their permanent residence. They to covert political influence, where they are able then to help whoever gave them the go ahead and the green light. They could put tons of money behind them to make sure they win the election. Number 5, the last thing, history repeating itself. Let's be real. This is neocolonialism 2.0. Instead of foreign empires, it's private empires. Multinational investors using money instead of muskets to control land and people. The colonizers are coming back. They call it free society, but let's freedom only for those who can afford to buy it. Ask yourself, how many regular average Bajans go down to what's the one down there? Somebody help me, down in St. James, and where they have all of those brands, the store.
Lime Grove.
Lime Grove. Yeah. How many of us people feel like they can go down there and buy anything and do anything? Right? That's what I'm saying, folks. This is so important. Miss McCLEAN.
Yes, Marcia, let me correct something in terms of Parliament. Parliament is in fact meeting tomorrow. What they will be looking at, there are 3 pieces of legislation which relate to all that we've been talking about in terms of free movement, etc. But remember that the Citizenship Bill is supposed to have been sent to the Committee of Governance and Policy Matters. What I don't know if people are aware, there's a piece of legislation called the Caribbean Community Free Movement of Nationals Bill. Now, that notice would have been given of that only on the 6th. Yeah. And read the first time on the 7th and gazetted on the 9th. Now, I have taken time to say that because remember that when free movement was introduced on the 1st of October, the Attorney General, I believe, the Prime Minister herself, the CARICOM ambassador, if I remember correctly, they were all saying that the government had their ducks in a row and were within the legal rights to do that. My understanding of this piece of legislation would make that but make what they're saying incorrect. Because from what I'm saying, this legislation, and as I said, it's just been put out there, is intended to make legitimate those decisions, make legal any decisions taken. But notice that free movement started on the 1st, and this legislation is yet to be passed. So it just tells us something about how decisions are being taken.
So that is what is being passed. So when the citizenship bill is still with the
That's
committee.
supposed to be with the committee, still supposed to be.
Well,
Because
right.
there's been no public consultation and all of that. But
Right,
we'll hear tomorrow what is.
Well, I'm telling you guys, we have work to do. We have education. We got to, Apostle, we've got
Yes,
to
ma'am.
educate the people of Barbados. And I'm telling you, I know Barbados is going to rise up. We got to defend it, guys. We
Well,
got to defend this.
I just want to say one thing, and you know, people have a habit of saying, you know, this is a conspiracy theorist and stuff like that. But I just want to say something in relation to this. I know from my studying that Barbados was willed to Prince Charles at the time, now King Charles, Barbados was willed to him. Okay. So upon the death of Queen Elizabeth, Barbados was passed to him as a part of his bounty, part of his treasure. Let me put it that way. It was ironic that when Barbados went into the republic status, 2021, November of 2021, it's just ironic that he was here for that. And then within a year, less than a year, we had the subsequent death of Queen Elizabeth, which, if I remember, was September the 8th, 2022. So between 2021 and 2022, we had Barbados going republic status and Prince Charles becoming King Charles in a country that is already willed to him. Okay, so let me just say this, that many times this whole issue that people are talking about, reparations and all that, I've told many of the guys who spoke to me about it, that get that out of your mind. That's not going to happen. Prince Charles, who is now King Charles, has his plan for Barbados. And part of his plan for Barbados works very well with what this present administration wants and what they're willing to do and what they're willing to allow Barbados to become again. We are going to be, if we're not careful, we're going to be living in Barbados and we are going to be peasants in our own country, unless, which is one of the reasons why they're moving ahead with all of these plans. Who in their right mind would move forward with such a plan as this immigration bill and citizenship bill when you do not have the framework in place to support such activity? You don't have basically the amenities in place. Our people here are already suffering with the high cost of living, or infrastructure in terms of healthcare not in place, or our financial system is not in place to handle the types of people who are coming here to Barbados. And these are individuals that are already on some very high but very shady levels of the financial sphere. And for Barbadians to wake up and realize that the pieces of the puzzle are coming together, if we would take the time to look critically at what is going on, we'll begin to see the major pictures. Look and see even now, if you look at those who are in charge of the major project there on at the pier head, these are individuals who own major properties around Barbados and around the world. They have a network already of individuals. They can put together 4 or 5 persons that are willing to put millions, if not billions of dollars up to make sure that a project, you know, is fully worked out. So I really would like the public in Barbados to come out of its stupor, come out of its slumber, and recognize that this whole issue of giving back Barbados to those who are rich and wealthy, that's what is happening. And I'll say this in my last point.
Yes,
When
yes.
it comes to the
Time is going, and we want to get to
Yeah.
this. Apostle, this is something very important on the screen. So make out
Yeah.
you quickly make
Yeah.
the point.
Let me just say this is going to be very short. In the whole area of the African Exim Bank, listen, parents don't leech off their children. And if Africa is coming back to leech off of Barbados, then Africa has not grown up.
Correct. Let me just show you something here, Apostle Theory, Miss McCLEAN, very important, and we will continue this tomorrow night. But everybody, just take a moment here, and I know we're typing. Don't type anything yet. Now, we would have just shown you a document, or you know, you would have heard a video from the investor there in Nevis, right? And they made a lot of reference to Dubai. Now, all we're doing, we're just putting stuff before you, and you can do whatever you will need to do in terms of understanding. Put 2 and 2 together. Because we don't go to school. We don't go to Sunday school. We go regular school. All right. So let's read this here, Dave, because I'm just getting so worked up over this here. Read Barbados learning from Dubai as it establishes what? What it said there? What it said there, Apostle? It said free zone. Didn't we just talk about that?
Free zone. Yeah. Yep. A free zone. Yeah.
Terry, did we just talk about that, Terry? This is since 2022, in the middle of COVID, is when they were doing that. Anybody recognize this is class that we have just talked about free zone? Okay.
Interesting.
March 29, 2022, Prime Minister Mayor Motley views Barbados' geographical location as ideal as government moves closer to establishing a free zone on the island. The term free zone is used to designate areas in which companies are taxed very lightly or not at all to encourage economic activity. Did we just speak about that? Ms. Motley, who led Barbados delegation in meeting with key leaders of the Dubai Free Zone, says the island is learning from Dubai. You see that? She said a draft bill for the free zone is being reviewed. We need to now go and figure out what does she mean by learning from Dubai. I saw where the investor said that Bridgetown will be Dubai on steroids.
Wow.
Now,
We'll see.
we need to, this is homework. Folks, what does the Prime Minister mean by this? What is she really saying? Theory, I see you're thinking. What's on your thought as we close this evening?
For me, I just want to say that it's interesting, you know, it's interesting how these individuals, and they say these individuals, the government, they say one thing, and you mentioned that this article is about 2022, around that period of time.
Yes.
I know the rhetoric is, you know, coming back up because obviously there's the Pierhead, there's these other projects that happen in Bridgetown. So even though they may necessarily lose the battle when we, let's say, with the loyal opposition, fight against it, but it doesn't mean that they're not sitting down and thinking about how can we do this or how can we put this in another way. So it's just analyzing, just putting the pieces together, and that's pretty much it.
Yes, I could see your brain, you're thinking. And you're wondering, could this really, I could see like you're like, what? Is this really going on here? Look at the possibilities. No, nobody has come out and said it's anything as close to Nevis. That's not what we're saying. We're saying Just put the dots together, connect things. You're a university student. You're seeing terms that are used by the people in Nevis. You see terms that are used here. You see similar terms. We're not idiots. Okay, Miss McCLEAN, as we close.
Well, I look at this and I will link this with something that Apostle said when he made reference to Dubai. Now, when I see free zone, I ask myself, are you talking about an economic free zone? And that has very specific meaning.
Correct.
But I would need to hear from the Prime Minister. And I would close by saying this. A very important point that you made, Apostle, was that the people of UAE, the United Arab Emirates, and Dubai being part of that, they developed their economy in the interest of the people, using largely the resources of that country. And then, of course, they expanded into foreign investment, etc. I was privileged to meet with the ruler of Dubai, and he went through with a number of foreign ministers what the strategy was. I remember he talked to us about Palm Island and all of those things. So I understand how in 50 years, the UAE moved from what was basically a nomadic group of people traveling across, the country and so on, to what it is now. But as Marcia was saying, we need to know when the Prime Minister speaks about these things, what exactly are they talking about? Particularly in the context of a situation where there are networks of persons across the region who are interested less in the people of CARICOM and more in their personal wealth creation for themselves, accumulation, not even creation, wealth accumulation, and the compromising of the interests of the people of the region. And that, to my mind, when I look at all of these things, whether we are looking at recent initiatives to facilitate free movement, I ask myself what exactly is behind that, especially when I got wind of what is brewing in St. Kitts and Nevis and the concerns that they have and some of the rest of the Caribbean. And I would say to Barbadians, go and read the legislation that is being proposed and see what is provided for other people outside of the region, non-CARICOM citizens. Go and look at what people are saying in one breath and then interpreting in another breath when they are challenged or when there is a reaction, a negative reaction. So all of what we hear, there are a lot of words, but there's a lot of double, triple, and quadruple meanings in some of these things.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Prophetess is saying what a game has been played on Barbadians and the world by extension. That is what has happened here, guys. We got a 6 for a 9. Is what happened, jinxed in 2018, and that's what's going on, and the whole world, they believe that whatever. But listen, there's a reverend there, Dave, that got it right. There's a reverend that got it right, though, and we were going to continue on this entire week. We're going to focus on the citizenship thing. We're not going to give up on this yet. This is too serious, theory. This is going at the core of us. We can't give up on this one yet. But listen now, Miss McCLEAN, there's somebody who got it right. The whole world is falling down and say, "Oh, Queen, live forever. Oh, Queen." But there was a reverend. There was a reverend in Barbados. And I tell you, it sweet me. There was a reverend apostle who decided, like Daniel, that I will not bow down. So let me start preaching. I will not bow down to any golden calf.
Right.
You understand? There was a reverend in Barbados today preaching. They put up the preacher before we come off by here. We ain't bowing down, Mr. McCLEAN. You ever hear me preach, apostle? We're not bowing.
I'm an Anglican, Marcia, so I know the reverend.
You know the reverend. The reverend, Anglican at that, Pastor. An Anglican at that. And guess what? Queen was sitting there. And listen, a lot of people, this person is like an idol, you know. You can't say nothing. You're gonna hear how they're shocked that he did not bow down and worship. But look, you see her right there. She's smiling now. You want to see her face afterwards. The queen get knocked off of the throne. Watch it now. Play the thing there, Dave. So look closely. You see. Wait. Use it first and show the people them. See her there? She sit down in the second row by herself, man. Right there. We don't know what she's doing at the service. But anyway, that's your choice. Okay? Go ahead, Dave, now and play the section that relates. Please, thank you. Okay, Dave.
That's not the section.
The deacons have been sent.
Put it like my grandmother always told me. She said, boy, if God call you to it, God will carry you through it. Take that to heart. My friends, we all know that as a nation we are going through some difficult times. I know we are told quite often that things are going well, but we know that things are not going well. None of us knows what the future holds.
What I love about this is how he went right. He continued like nothing. He gave a little smile, but he continued like nothing happened. Now we showed her. They played one more time.
Play a little longer.
Yeah,
play some expressions.
Yeah, that's what we have. But they go back to the beginning of that. Yeah, we will have it ready for you tomorrow. Some more. Go ahead now.
She said, boy, if God call you to it, God will carry you through it. Take that to heart. My friends, we all know that as a nation we are going through some difficult times. I know we are told quite often that things are going well, but we know that things are not going well.
Now, Dave, while Dave looked for the other clip, it's important to know that there is a thing going around that the people were snickering, etc., for various, whatever reasons they are attributed to that. As you look at that, Apostle, as you're a mature man, why do you think the people were snickering and they were laughing in their faces?
I'll be honest with you. The statement that was made, and thank God the Reverend was bold enough to make that statement. He's absolutely correct that we're constantly being told that things are good. The economy is growing. National deficit, all of these things, and tourism is up, and all of these things. We're constantly being told things about how good the country is growing, but as he said, we all know that that's not the case. And
so the question is the people, their response. What their response is saying?
I think the snickering of the people was more so about the boldness of the Reverend to make that statement while the Prime Minister was there. Okay, and he stressed when he made the statement, he says, "But we know," and he stressed on the no. So that means that he was very resolute in what he was actually saying. So I think the fact that the Prime Minister was sitting there and he made that statement in front of her, I think the people were, gasping and snickering at the fact, okay, well, yeah, pretty much bold enough to make that kind of comment right in front of the Prime Minister. So that response was a mixture of laughter. It was a mixture of, whoa, he's pretty bold to make that type of statement in the presence of the Prime Minister from the pulpit. So it was a mixture of different emotional elements. And from the clip, you can see that quite a few of the people who are there look pretty affluent. So yeah, it's a mixture of a lot of things going on there. So
yeah,
but
let me
I think
ask
mostly
Theory.
it's the boldness. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
mostly it's the boldness.
let me ask Theory. Theory, what do you think? Because there are various things going around on social media about the response of the people. Just looking at the clip and the response of the people, why do you think they responded that way? What does their response say to you?
I think I agree with the apostle when he said about the boldness, but I also think, when you say something and it's like, well, that's not what's actually happening, and people start to laugh because, well, it's not funny, but what else can you do but laugh, right? So, one, it was that the Prime Minister was there, but also that, if I say, okay, we have $1 million, but we don't actually have $1 million, right? So that's it, Yeah, see, the apostle Snickers. So it's just like that, persons.
So people are agreeing. So you're saying that it's not that they're laughing not just because they're shocked, but they're also agreeing.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
They're agreeing.
are not going to Barbados.
Yeah, Angela Knight is saying, I was there. I saw you in the video, Angela. She said, yes, I was there. I was shocked. And she laughed. And so she was shocked. She said that he spoke up. I was in that video. He spoke up. They're shocked and they laughed. And they said they're agreeing, but they would not, and I think, who had it there? What's his name had it? Adrian Hines. Right. He said they know the truth, but they also know that speaking the truth to power in the face of power is not a normal occurrence in Barbados. And I think that is a big part of it too. You could see that on the people's faces. Let me go to Miss McCLEAN. You know this, Reverend.
Well, I know the Reverend Dr. Monrell Williams quite well. He's been a clergy, he's been the priest in the Anglican Church for a long time. He's lived here and abroad. I think he retired and he came back, and we have a number of priests who've retired, but they come back and assist the congregations. And I'm not surprised. He's a person who speaks his mind. And I think a priest can be honest. Now, the truth is, I am old enough, precisely. I am old enough to, and you might remember, Apostle, when the late Dean Harold Critchlow, as a youngster, I used to look forward. Sometimes I used to get upset with him because his sermons were very anti-democratic Labour Party. I mean, at that time, Errol Barrow was Prime Minister. And so for a person who is a child of independence, you can understand, the things and I think for him at the time, Errol Barrow had been in office for at least 2 terms, and he felt that he had reason to criticize. And he used the pulpit not once, not in a sentence, in sermons, Sunday after Sunday. And to me, part of what the priests need to do is speak to the issues facing the congregation. People were laughing because when Barbadians are uncomfortable, they often laugh. I think they often laugh because some people could relate, as we heard from the other comments, that people related to what they heard. People probably laugh too because we don't often hear, and I think Adrian captured it well. We don't hear people criticizing the Prime Minister generally, at least, well, I mean, on outside the party, outside the political discourse, then, so, and I was saying this, I'll be very frank, I'm an Anglican, and I know the preponderance of priests who are strong supporters of the Barbados Labour Party, to the extent that sometimes you have priests. I remember a close friend of mine walking out of a funeral because of comments made by a priest who was very close to the city branch of the Barbados Labour Party. I won't say anymore. If I say more, it would be to identify the priest. And the person was very upset because of the comments that were made, partisan comments, at the funeral of somebody close to that person. And they felt they were out of order. So political comment, well, this wasn't a political comment.
No, it wasn't.
Comments, precisely,
No, it wasn't.
political comments, parties and political comments are often made, and it is okay if they are in favor. Now, if somebody had said that the prime minister is the best prime minister in the hemisphere and the world, you know, it might not have attracted, you know, it would have gone along and nobody would have said anything. But
Yeah.
you
Well,
know, I would have to listen to the whole story. But for me, right, this very quickly, this whole thing distracts from a historic event in the Anglican Church. This was the first time that we had the ordination of what are called deacons of distinction. They are not people who will become priests. They are persons who will be working in the communities and assisting priests. And it's a historic thing. So unfortunately, the prime minister didn't sit through the entire thing, which is sad because she was.
I could see Dave. You need to see her. Dave, you have that. That's the last thing that we need to look at. You don't have it? Oh, you needed to see her. You need to see her. I am telling you. I looking at her body language. I knew she would have left early. I heard she scratched it. She didn't know what.
She had her papers in her hand like she was ready to dash out. But I have to watch the sermon, not for that, but to see the sermon because I couldn't attend the service.
Yeah, but the point though is that we need to celebrate this man because he stood up, pastor, apostle, and spoke out. And I thought of you and Dr. Ferdinand and all the others that are doing so. And I hope some of you, the holy rollers, that the tongue-talking ones and the, driving up the devil ones, and all of them will start to speak out, because I hear a lot of that. But when it come on to the PM, you're not hearing nobody taking the breath, nobody doing that, nobody, everybody bow. But this pastor, what's his name? Miss McLean,
Reverend Dr. Monroe Williams.
Reverend Williams say now bow down. Reverend Williams said now bow down. And we need some more of them. So all of the hollering and the spitting that they're doing, it means nothing. Empty. It's such a thing. Well, we close with that tonight, guys. We close with that tonight. I wanted to see that last thing first, have a laugh before we leave. I'm gonna find it and get it edited and put them together. By tomorrow night, we tell you we're gonna put on a song to that. By tomorrow night, folks. It's been a great night, Miss McLean. Thank you for sharing that. And I believe that even the information, what we shared about Emerton too, theory, all of it is connected. There was a connection, the displacement of people, which is going to happen in Bridgetown because people have told me that they have received letters. So all of that is all tied up. So the Lord, the Father is leading us and leading the show. I've been asked to ask you to pray a short prayer for us tonight, Apostle, before we go.
Okay.
Start asking for a prayer.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's pray. Father, I want to thank you that you are still God of this nation. No matter what we are faced with, we stand in our faith and our belief in you to respond to our people. We made it clear that you have been the people's guide, and you will continue to be our guide. And even as we stand in the face of this parliamentary debate on this bill and these bills that could seriously erode the very sovereignty of our nation, we thank you, Father, that you are going to turn the tables. You're going to make things happen for the people of Barbados and for this nation. And so we invite into Barbados tonight, Father, your presence, your angels that will begin to speak to those in the areas of power. You will speak even to the minds of those who currently make up our government. This is not the direction for Barbados to go. And I pray, Father, that we will see such a sign and a wonder come tomorrow, that the people of Barbados will get to rejoice. And so we thank you, Father, for Marcy and this show, and for all of our panelists who come together each week to sensitize the people of Barbados to the dangers that are befalling them. And so tonight, Father, we thank you for your blessing, and we thank you for your favor, we thank you for your peace, and we thank you for your joy and your prosperity coming to Barbados because of it. And so we bless this show, we bless the people of this nation. We declare Barbados belongs to you, and nothing can and will ever change that. We give you praise and we give you glory for it now in Jesus' mighty name. Amen and amen. Praise God. Amen. Amen.
Who running this show? Nobody. Taxes high but two wages low. The PM talk, the rest lie low. In BIM is a one-woman show. Lancelot, crime run wild, still we smiling Caribbean style, singing woes with rhythm and flow, cause soca never sugarcoat. Running this show, nobody know. Taxes high but two wages low. The PM talk, the rest lie low. In BIM is a one-woman show. Lancelot, crime run wild, still we smiling Caribbean style, singing woes with rhythm and flow, cause soca never sugarcoat. The youth them balling in the street, but the police seat still warm from heat. Gunshot barking every night, yet not a soul come out of sight. Them say investigation start, 2 years past, not a single chart. CCTV done gone blind, and the brass act like crime confined. Who running this show? Nobody know. Taxes high but two wages low. The PM talk, the rest lie low. In BIM is a one-woman show. Lancelot, crime run wild, still we smiling Caribbean style, singing woes with rhythm and flow, cause soca never sugarcoat. Who running the show? Nobody know. Who calling the blow? We don't know till she tell us so. Gas price climbing out of control. Tax take more than church take soul. Man work a month, sweat and grind, still can't afford the corn beef tin. Fiat on water, tax palm breeze. Poor man begging, lots some ease. Politician cruising, you bench shine, say tight your belt while